Welcome everyone to the Blue Stand for another stream. Today we're going to do the Arsenal preview and a recap on the Zebgreb game last night. We start with the Zagreb game, and I think it was a good performance, really, by Chelsea. We played good football. Some good excitements. I think everyone played a good game. The ones who played. Zakaria, must mention, he was really good for his first few games. Really good. With Jorginho, it worked. He attacked and he scored as well. I hope we play more of him. He really impressed me a lot. Mason Mount was good. I mean, really good. Could have had a few more goals, really. We missed some easy chances. Raheem Sterling, yes, he got a great goal, great footwork to get that goal. But the other chance, open goal should have scored. But I'm not blaming him. He had a good game. So we didn't have enough to play for. We played. And the problem is now we've lost Ben Chilwell again. It looks like he could be out for 4 weeks at least, if not worse. So it's very hard luck on him. He was getting ready for the World Cup as well. Very gutty for him. But we can't do nothing much. We can easily say you shouldn't have played him. You should have played someone else. But you don't know as a manager who's going to get injured. And Ben Chilwell needed game time. Trying to get back where he was. First half, he wasn't that good, really, but second half, he started to play, going up and down the wing. Really impressed me second half. And it's a shame he got injured, really gutted. So many injuries, it's unbelievable. And we have Arsenal coming up, Man City in the Cup, and Newcastle, a Premiership game. So the next 3 games are really hard for us. With a depleted team, it's going to be very hard. But I'm still optimistic. We can go, and get a result against Arsenal. We're at home. I know it's not a good time for Chelsea. 12 o'clock kickoff. Never has been throughout our history. We just go asleep. Let's hope we're up for it. If we're up for it, I think we will damage Arsenal. We can do something good. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to welcome Dan. He's here with me. See what to say as well. Welcome, Dan. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, Nick. Very well. Welcome for letting me come on to the show. Big up
always,
to you. Big up to everyone. We are the Blues. We're the Blue Bombers, and what a good result last night.
Yeah, we're sorry?
Well, good result last night.
Yeah, good performance, I think. Shame about
Zakaria for the first half.
If it wasn't Chilwell's injury, it would have been great. But
he's out for 6 weeks. Out for 6 weeks.
Oh, God. So he's going to miss the World Cup and miss, our next 3 really important games, which is bad. Just trying to put certifying, kids jumping out. Look, I'll put it in. Didn't know. Oh, God, he's gone again.
It's like the mystical statue. In, out. You're shaking on about. You do the yoki cookie and you turn around.
I think he's on now. Yeah, certified. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, good.
What's up?
I was just talking about the Europe game. We start with that. Yeah, Dan's here as well.
Yeah.
What's up, my boy? How's you, JK?
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
I'm buzzing after that win. I can't lie.
Yeah, good performance. Certified. I was just saying, good performance from us last night. It's a shame we lost Chilwell, otherwise it would have been a great night. We should have had more goals, I think. We missed some good chances. But overall, I'm very happy with everyone who played on that pitch. Yeah, Samuel.
Zakaria was decent.
Zakaria especially. Yeah, I will let you
I
come
was
to
actually
that.
impressed. I was actually impressed with his performance.
First half, second half. Oh my God, it was unreal. Why do we ain't played him? Why haven't we not played him? And I hope he has Arsenal game.
Yeah, go on. One at a time, please. Dan, go ahead. What you were saying, and Certified can come in.
Yeah. Basically, Zakaria. I don't know why we never played him from start to finish. Yesterday, it was incredible with the link up, where he pushes like that ball. He won that ball, and then when Koulibaly fell off, we thought, oh no, Koulibaly, hope not get injured. But the guy he's got the talent, and he can play back to back. He can play attacking. He can play everywhere, and all them touches. What I've got stats of him from the game yesterday, and he had over 300 touches around the box in the first and the second half. The boy, oh my God, is unreal. The news for a fact that I hope he weren't injured because when he came off, when he got subbed off, but no, he's fine. He hopes he can play against the Arsenal game on Sunday. Koulibaly and Zakaria are totally fine. I hope Zakaria against Arsenal on Sunday, I hope he plays, because if he plays, God help me Arsenal, because this guy, why did we not play him for ages? And
because let me say,
he scored that debut.
Yeah,
scored that debut goal.
It's not that Paula doesn't rate him. He said it, he's looking at them when they train, and he was training good. He said it himself.
A lot of people.
Dan, wait a minute. Yeah, I'll let you come back. Zakaria, he said it himself. Have you heard what he said after the match? He said, "Yeah, I'm very happy. Great debut. I'm glad I scored." And they asked him about why did Pollard didn't you play? Why did Graham Pollard didn't you before? He said because everyone's training, training hard, and it's not easy for the manager. But he was training so hard. He said, "I was training so hard. He had to pick me." He's happy at Chelsea. He was very happy,
yes.
And so he will play more games. It's just we're going to have rotation. He's going to come in now without Medov. Potter knows he saw it. He was happy with him. Let's see who he picks to start. Will it be him? Would it be Loftus? Let's see. We're going to talk about the Arsenal game soon. Go ahead.
I was going to say to you, there's a lot of media about Potter don't like Zakaria. That's why he hasn't picked him for the games. Yesterday performance after when he scored that debut, I said to my son, I hope he scores his debut goal against Zebgreb and win the game, because I want him to see Potter what he could do. And the next minute he goes and scores the winning goal and wins us the game. And I just and Potter after the game, the lady asked him Potter a question. He said about rotate. I don't know for Sunday's game what formation I'll be playing, so you can't really ask me what formation from there. But this guy, Nick, this guy is potential.
I was very impressed with him. Very impressed.
Yeah, he's got. I think he's got potential. I think he's got potential for the club. Yeah, and I think instead of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, or Conor Gallagher, this Zakaria should play in that middle over Ruben Loftus-Cheek, because he's more better, he's more physical, and he's got more strength. And if he plays that against Arsenal, I can see us winning, mate.
Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm really impressed with him, but it's a hard choice now it's better because, like Potter said, I want players, two players in every position can fight for that position, like City have. That's what we need. I hope, this is only his first game, so we can't really rate him on one game. We have to calm down Let's see, if he carries on even better. You can get better. I think he can. Let's just read before I go to you, sir. If I want to see what he's saying. Manos is saying Zakaria was released on loan because of injury issues. Yes, I get that point. Yes, he was injury prone, Zakaria. He was at Juventus. That's why he's come to us on loan. Yeah, good point. Good point. Let's hope the injury is over. Let's go to you, Serafai. How did you what do you think of the match last night, first of all?
Yeah, I will start with the match. I'll start with the match, only talking about the game, and from what I saw, because I watched the whole game, and I know
Yeah.
Nick, went to the game, so I'm sure that was a great game for you. Um,
Yeah,
I think,
great performance. Yeah.
yeah. So I think we started that game very slowly. It looked like we lacked a bit of sharpness. I don't know how. I don't know what happened, but this is something that I've mentioned a lot, especially when Tuchel was here, and that's what has changed now, and that's what we're seeing now on the Potter is the mentality from going a goal down. Do you get what I'm saying? The thing I've been stressing a lot.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh yeah,
get what I'm
we
saying?
done it. We actually done it twice now. Go down against Palace, we come back 2-1. We done it again last night. That's good character. Yeah, you're right. Carry
Exactly.
on. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and someone on a space when I was talking mentioned I'd rather Chelsea one goal down than getting the first goal because when we get the first goal, most of the times we relax and everything. But have you seen how well we played when we've actually conceded first? Do you get what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
the
it
mentality
was
has
very.
changed,
Yeah.
attacking wise. Like honestly, don't know the signs you're putting up there, Dan, but yeah,
Four at the back, four at the back, four
yeah,
at the back.
yeah,
Ah.
exactly. It's
And
the four at
Sterling
the
was
back.
playing on the wing.
Yeah.
And Sterling was playing on the wing. Sterling was
Depends.
playing on the wing and he better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's his
and
position. He has to play.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on.
Before the
Sorry.
game, I
Carry
did
on.
look at the lineup. I looked at the lineup and I saw that we were playing a three at the back. But I think Potter's system really tricks us as fans. Sometimes the opposition team, I don't know if that's the thing. Because we were playing a back four this whole
Hmm.
time. I saw three at the back. That's what makes me laugh. Even Dan's laughing. I saw three at the back, and then from the start, beginning and end, we've been playing a back four.
Yeah.
And
Did
this
you
kind of
see?
weapon,
Let me ask you something. Did you see how we conceded the goal?
yeah,
Because
it
we
was.
are four
I
at the
didn't. Yeah, it
because
was
we have
bad
four back, and
defending.
Chilwell wasn't in the right place because we were playing the four at the
Exactly.
back. He was free at the
That's the
back. He would
thing.
have been further close to that player who crossed it.
That's the thing.
It shows
Chilwell's not
why.
really defensive minded. I keep saying it. Do you
No,
get what I'm saying?
no, he's not. But
Even in
the
his Leicester
system, even
days.
Potter said it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Lampard
think
brought him
Potter
in
is.
to have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, go on.
Lampard brought him in to give him that attacking presence because Lampard is an attacking manager. So
Yes.
that's why you want him
Mhm.
to
Oh yeah,
bring
yeah.
him in.
Yeah,
Lampard has
great
no clue
attacking.
about defending.
He was unlucky not to score. He's a great attacker. I feel so sorry for him. Now we've lost him
Yeah, he's a
again.
great
It's
attacker.
unbelievable. Great
Yeah.
attacking.
See, with Rio Ferdinand,
But
Nick, with Rio Ferdinand last night on Champions League, he said
mm,
if it was three at the back and way with a cross, if there was three, the wingers would have pushed it further out from the box so that guy wouldn't have a chance to cross it in. You know what I'm trying
yeah,
to say?
exactly. Yeah.
Where it would have the
So,
right wing back or the
we
left
know
wing back
why.
would have been there.
Yeah, and against we come to Arsenal in a minute. Let's certify Philippi's statement first, and then you can.
Yeah, I was just
Anything
talking
else you want
about
to
the
say about
game.
the second?
Yeah,
Yeah, go
I
on.
did
Yeah,
think we started the game slow, but I want to give credit as well to the Zagreb fans because they outsung. Literally, that's all I heard.
unbelievable.
That
And
whole
don't
game,
stop them
it was
fans.
just them.
Uh,
Yeah,
even
I
when they
think Chelsea were
lost,
just loud
they
when we
lost the
scored.
game.
Yeah,
They lost and they were celebrating. You see them. You're not
that's the
celebrating,
thing.
but they won't stop singing. That's how they are.
I don't
These
know how they
Croatian
do it.
fans are crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
wonder
they
how
were
they do
happy
it.
to be
I
there
don't
at
know.
Certified. They were
Yeah.
happy to be in London. It's a big night for them.
Yeah.
To go come to London, and it's a big thing for some fans.
That's
And
the
when they
thing.
came drums and everything, they made crazy noise outside, inside the stadium. Really loud fans, yeah. And we would have been louder if it wasn't. We knew we were through. That's the thing. We
That's the
did
thing.
sing a bit,
Yeah.
especially when Thiago Silva came on. He got his um, but it's going to be different on Sunday. You watch, it's going to be
Mm,
electric Sunday because it's Arsenal, and we have to
mm,
win. So that's
mm.
going to be a different atmosphere. Yeah,
Yeah. And some
carry on.
more points. Yeah, and some more points is this. Um, we can say that this football in the league, but in my opinion, I do think ever since Potter came in, I've been I've been impressed with the way we've been responding, attacking wise. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
as we said, I don't really want to talk about Tuchel too much, but in the past when we had Tuchel, I didn't see a team that had a lot of freedom. Do you get what I'm saying? Though
mm,
we have more players now
yeah.
who are being a bit techie. Do you get what I'm saying? And just expressing themselves going forward. Do you get what I'm saying? And I've also Zakaria, bro. This guy, do you know the mad thing
Mm.
about his performance? Do you know why I was so impressed? This guy's not even that sharp to play. So imagine, so imagine that his full
Yeah,
sharpness when he's fully sharp
yes,
to
exactly.
play.
His first full game. But he's been
Exactly,
doing it in training, probably. So, that's why
exactly.
We got Sakuya. You just don't think you understand. He counts the attack. He bounces the back, and he's only to score this debut out. Debut goal, mate. Debut goal.
A new song.
We got Sakuya.
yeah,
He just don't think you
it's gonna
understand.
be
He counter attacks. He
something
defends
like
and
that, maybe.
backs.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like that's a new
yeah. I'm
song
sure
from
we're gonna
there.
make a song
We
for
got
him.
Sakuya.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
we'll
ready
have to
made. It's ready
think
made.
about that to make him a song.
Mm. It's ready made though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's ready made.
Yeah,
My cousin and my mate went to the game last night, and he said, "You're showing that you weren't there because he had a ticket for me to go." I said, "No, it's no point me going because we've already qualified to the Champions League. I'll go for the next Champions League." I said, "I want to go to the
mm,
big game against Arsenal on Sunday." And then next minute, yeah,
mm,
he FaceTimed me, yeah, and you can hear my mate and my cousin, yeah, and his mate, yeah, it's like my mate and all, and a few people on the back of the row, and it's like a few in the middle. They were singing like just like the Thomas Tuchel song, but it's we got Sakuya, it's counter attack, he's an
yeah,
attack. So he's defending like that. It was good. It was really good song for him.
yeah.
yeah,
I like how Chelsea
yeah.
fans already have a song for a player already.
Mm.
Yeah, they don't have
Yeah.
it. It's not. Yeah, it's like Conor Gallagher. It was going to be like the Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, but they changed to a different one. We have another one for you.
It's like another Curtis Jones from Liverpool. Dog shite. I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
yeah,
Nick.
I know.
I think he's funny.
Yeah,
He don't like me rinsing Conor Gallagher, don't he? Doesn't like me rinsing
no,
Conor Gallagher.
because he
I
played
tell
good
you,
as well.
he did.
Done
He
a
did
job.
do well. But I'll give him. If he was a wait, I'll give him a 5 because she should have bet that goal.
Yeah,
My
and
6-year-old kid, my
Yeah,
6-year-old kid could have scored that. He could have scored
yeah,
that. My 6-year-old kid.
and Raheem Sterling should have at least had
no,
a hat trick today. I can't
Yeah.
lie.
yeah. So one was an open goal. That was even more, worse. He had to score
Yeah,
that. That was an open goal.
yeah, but
He
he did
got the
score
good
in the
one. He
end.
got,
So
somewhere. He scored
yeah,
a great goal, great movement, a bad young flick, back flick, beautiful. Thanks to
Beautiful
Jorginho
play.
Frugal.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
It
guys,
was
one
great.
Because
question. So
he saw the middle. He saw the middle free space in that middle. You see how Jorginho touched that ball, hold the ball, and saw that play through. And that's when he played that ball where Aubameyang asked for it, and Aubameyang
Keep
ran in,
saying it,
flicked it
Jorginho is
backward,
one
and
of our
goal.
main players. That's why what I keep saying that I'm always saying Jorginho is a good player. He's a world-class player still, and you don't get rid of players like that. When he has the right player next to him, he performs.
Yeah,
Coman
he
can play
does.
with him, Kanti, and now Zakaria.
And
You know,
Sakuya. But him and Loftus-Cheek don't
yeah,
adapt well. But the thing is, I want to see
no,
Jorginho do it consistently. I want him to do it every inside out of the game. Why can't he do that every single game? Not like 2 or 3
but
games. He'll have a game is
yeah,
crap.
but
The
that's
next
what
one
he's on. He rarely has a
Mm.
bad game. For me, he rarely has a bad game, really. And there's no one there better than taking penalties. So yeah, we're gonna see what Pollard does in the summer, who he brings in. If and maybe Jorginho or Kanti will go. Maybe both will go. No, depends who he brings in. Depends what they do with their contracts. Will Kanti sign it? He wants it a lot. So I don't know. Yeah. Yes, sort of.
I
Anything else
feel
about
we'll
the
still keep.
Zebgreb?
I think we'll keep Kante, Nick. I
You
think
guys,
we'll
what are you
keep him.
telling me? Do you think?
Depends on him, yeah, but it depends. Dan, it depends if he accepts. He doesn't. So far, he hasn't accepted the contract. He wants
You
3
guys can
years
ask the
plus
question.
1. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Chelsea. Well,
So
hold on. Chelsea want to give him 2 years plus 1. He does. He wants more because it's going to be his last contract. So he might even go. The bad thing is, he might go to Tottenham or Arsenal. But they really want him.
PSG.
Especially no, you won't.
Go to,
No. He will stay in the Premiership, but Conte wants him. You think if Conte wants him, he will go to Tottenham.
no, I
Yeah,
don't think Kante will
forget
do us like that.
PSG.
no, Callum won't do it.
Yeah, he doesn't care
PSG.
about us now.
He
He
wants to
cares
go to
about his
France.
team, sort of. No.
No, but if Tottenham don't offer, Tottenham's not offering the same amount what we Chelsea could offer. PSG's put the higher price. He's
Yeah,
going to
but
give him 250k
yeah,
a
let's see
week,
what happens. But they
300k.
do. They're very interested. Both Arsenal and Tottenham are the first clubs who really they're interested at the moment. PSG haven't said anything. Yeah, go
I
on,
hope he doesn't
Certify.
go to
Your
Arsenal
question.
because imagine Kante in that Arsenal
That's what I
team.
don't want.
Oh my God.
I don't want him going nowhere. I want
Nah,
him to
Hey
stay,
Nick,
but let's see.
Nick, I'll send you something on Twitter about PSG about Kante. They want him. Kante, PSG does want Kante. PSG do want him.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see him.
Ben
Yeah.
Jacobs said about it.
Anyway,
James Jacobs.
yeah,
But I don't want him to go.
yeah,
He's our legend. He's our legend, bro.
yeah, that's right. We don't want him going nowhere, really. Yeah, Certify.
No.
What's the question?
do you think? Let's be honest, guys. Who is the first striker for Chelsea?
Who's a first striker?
Yeah.
Havertz.
Yeah, so
Havertz,
we see
Aubameyang is
Havertz, Aubameyang, they get switched every week.
Yeah, it is because no one's been doing great. That's why he keeps changing it. And we had Aubameyang on the left yesterday, and Havertz in the middle, and Sterling on the other wing. Sometimes, they do that, but Aubameyang is the main striker. That's why we bought him, certified.
Yeah, but then let's be honest. If we keep on benching and what's it called, switching strikers every game, that's gonna dip their form. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I do think we should just stick with a striker, and just basically just stick with him.
Aubameyang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually it's
like
Aubameyang. You see what he did. He nearly scored. He hit the bar. You see that shot he did. You're so unlucky.
Yeah, I know. But if we want to get Aubameyang going,
Smash
we
the
need to
bar.
start.
I mean, the goalkeeper saved it.
We just need to keep starting him.
God.
Yeah, because it don't
yeah,
make
for
sense.
Sure.
It don't make sense if you're starting a striker and you'll just keep changing the strikers. I mean, not all of our strikers are gonna get 15 plus goals. Let's be honest here. We can't just keep changing strikers. It's either you start Aubameyang every game or Broya every game or both of them every game. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it don't make sense.
Broya ain't going to start every game. He's still
That's the thing.
young. He will come off the bench like he does for now. Aubameyang is
Yeah,
the
let's just
main
keep it
one
like that.
right now.
Not changing
Yeah.
Havertz to Aubameyang don't make sense.
Sometimes they're both playing. Depends what
I
formation he's
think
going to go
Sterling
with.
should stay where he is. I think Sterling should stay on the left wing because there was a thing on Twitter, saying Sterling spoke to Potter saying, I'm not good that right wing back, Potter. Why are you playing me there? Put me in my best position where my favourite position is at left wing. And when Potter put him there last night, you show how better he was at the wing than at right wing back, left wing back.
That's the thing.
So,
We didn't play back three. It's the lineup showed it, but we didn't.
We played the 4-3-1-2 last night.
Yeah.
Well, the lineup did show it. The lineup did show it, the three at the back, but we didn't.
Yeah, and then there were times where I saw a 4-2-3-1. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I did see a pivot with Zakari and Jorginho, which it kind of worked.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what
The only question is we need to test it in the Prem before we say anything.
Yeah. Let's see. We come to Arsenal in a minute. I don't know if it's worth rating the players for last night. They all played good. We won with the group anyway before we started that game. We could do the ratings.
Just give them all 10. Give them all 10. Give them all 10 because they were brilliant last night. Yeah, all 10. All 10. Yeah. I'll give them all 10 because they were good. They're apart from that first goal. Good, the first goal was a bit lucky, really, because it came off back of his head and he bounced back to go. But
Aspie didn't get it right. He just hit his head.
One question.
He shouldn't have come to that. It should have been crossed. That ball should never been crossed. That was bad defending by Ben Chilwell. Very bad. Yeah.
One question.
Yeah.
Was Mason Mount playing? I'm being real. I'm not even violating.
Yeah, Mason Mount was playing. Yeah, he was playing. He was quality last night. He was good.
Yeah,
he gave the assist to Sakuraya.
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
Yeah, he was playing. He played good actually. They all played.
Yeah, he did.
Ben Chilwell first half didn't play that good, but second half he was nearly scored.
Because Havertz and Mount look like each other, so I keep on. Almost like from afar. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
That's the
thing. Sometimes you do get confused. But he played good. Mason Mount was okay. How he has the energy to play on Sunday. That's when we need them, and we need them to come out, raring to go. We're gonna talk about the Arsenal game when we finish Zebgreb. I mean, it's not much to say. They all played good performance, and it's good we got a win after that really bad result at Brighton. Just it makes the players more confident going into the Arsenal game. We don't go in that game. Say we lost to Zagreb, they'd be really down. Even if we did qualify, it wouldn't be the right result. That's why Graham Potter put a good team out. He wanted that win last night to, so they're ready for Arsenal, which we're going to come to now. I think it's going to be very close. And it all depends on our mentality and attitude when we come out that dugout. I said it against Tottenham. When we played Tottenham, a lot of people said, we're going to get ripped apart and all this. But we came out determined and we went for them. We didn't let them breathe. If we do that, we can win. We have to come out going for them really bad. Don't let them get them. We have to play like Brighton played against us in a way. If you know what I'm talking about. Let's bring in Deals as well. Yeah, hi Deals.
Yes, Deals. Pick up my brother Deals.
Deals, can you hear us?
Dude, what are you telling me, dude?
Can you hear me? Could you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
My brother.
Yeah, it's my Wi-Fi. It's my Wi-Fi. But yeah,
Ah,
big up the panel. How's everyone doing?
yeah,
Yeah,
fine.
everyone's doing good, man.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Zebgreb game. If you want to say anything about that as well, we were just about to start about Arsenal. But what do you think about last night's performance?
I think for the starting 10 minutes, I reckon it was a bit annoying the fact that we conceded, but as the game
Shaky.
came on, as the game come on
Mm,
as the game come on, we got confident to win the game, and that's why I think Zakaria being in the midfield, because Jorginho was very
mm.
confident on the ball when and off the ball when Zachary was making them tackles. If you saw Jorginho in the midfield, he was very confident. Don't you think?
Yeah, and because he
Where's
knew
Jake?
Zakaria was there
Yeah.
to defend him.
Yes.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. We said that, all three of us. We said,
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
great play, great performance by Zakaria, man.
yes.
Yeah,
And
go ahead.
Mendy. A lot of people were saying that Mendy. A lot of people were saying that Mendy. How the way that Mendy conceded the goal, Kepa could have saved that.
Yeah.
That's what I hear from a lot of
What do you
people.
say?
Huh?
Oh, it was hard. It was very hard. Maybe
Yeah.
he would have, but no one knows for sure. You can't say that,
Yeah.
really. Mendy
Yeah.
didn't do that bad. Didn't have much to do, really. Hardly anything, apart from
Yeah.
like a goal. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I think he had one save to do, wasn't it? And he
Yeah.
saved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he
you
didn't.
see with Mendy, yeah. You see with Mendy, I think it's where he's not been playing that much, and maybe his confidence is gone a bit shaky since African Cup Nations. That's when I think he's
Mm,
changed. He's changed a little bit.
yeah. At least last night he didn't do any fancy dribbling in the
Yeah.
box. He got the ball, got rid of the ball quick, which I like. I was happy to see. Now let's see how long he's going to keep Kepa out. It's up to him now. He's going to play against Arsenal. It's up to him. Any mistakes and Kepa's right back in as soon as he's fit. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's talk about
Yeah.
Chilwell.
Go. Yeah.
Chilwell's
Oh.
injury is I don't even want to talk about it, but we have to, because it's a shame, because we're having the same problems that happened last season with Reece James and Chilwell. We're in this. It's about the same time, wasn't it? Around the same time that
Yeah.
Chilwell got injured last season. Now he's getting injured again.
Yeah.
Now,
Now this is
thank God.
second
Thank God.
injury.
I was saying to JK after the game, thank God that we got Cucurella as a left back to be back up, because if we didn't get a left back, we'd be having the same problems as the right back situation we're in right now.
Yeah. Well, that's why we got Cucurella in the first place, because when we lost Chilwell. And now it's up to Cucurella to perform. He has to get better for me. He hasn't had every single game bad. I'm not saying that. Some games he's been very good. In the beginning, he was very good. He's lost a little bit of form, but now he has to perform now, especially on Sunday. It's gonna be very.
The last time we saw Cucurella put out a performance was Leicester, wasn't it? Leicester at home.
Yeah,
that's the last.
Yeah, that's it. I was there,
and I was there as well.
He really performed.
I was there as well.
So was I. So was I.
He can play. He's a great player. When he's on form, we see he's a great player. I was just saying before you come on, we have to. What we have to do is be like Brighton when we play Arsenal. Potter has to make this Chelsea Brighton, because you see how they were hunting us down in packs. We did that to Tottenham, and that's why.
Because we had about
1 second.
Nick.
One minute. Hold on. We have to, don't let Arsenal breathe, like we didn't let Tottenham breathe. Kane didn't get the ball, touched him with the first half. We didn't let him. So if I'm sure Chelsea will come out really wanting to go for it. If we go for it, we can beat Arsenal, I'm sure. Depends how we come out and we fight for every single ball. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, go on. I'll let you talk. I'll come back.
Nick.
Yeah, go on, deals.
My question is Aspie. Let's talk about Aspie, because Aspie, do you think he's past it, or he's still the same? What's your thoughts on Aspie?
No, he's still a great player and person to have at the club. In the dressing room, you might not hear him on the pitch, but he has a big big say in the dressing room, and the players do listen to him. He's one of our most experienced players. And he didn't have a bad game. He was crossing good. The only mistake he did was that backheader.
I think he had a bad game. I think he had a bad game.
It wasn't that bad for me.
Aspie. I think.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad. No,
he was bad. He was bad. He was bad.
And Stav.
I can't lie.
Right. And Stav.
He was bad.
I'm just reading Stav's comment.
Yeah, hold on. Let me read the comment.
Mendy went poor. Mendy went poor. He couldn't save that for the header, man.
Dan.
That was a good header finish. Sorry.
Yeah, Dan, can you hold on? Let me read some of the segments. I read the first one. Zachary. I'll read it again. Easy Manos. Zachary was released on loan because of injury. That's why he came to us. He was injury prone. I agree with that. Stav is saying Mendy got his hands on the ball and pushed it into the net compared to Kepa treble save at Villa, or that point blank header. I pushed over. Mendy was poor before AFCON, 3 mistakes at West Ham. Yeah, we know about the mistakes he was making, but we can't say it was an easy save to make.
It wasn't an easy save. It was not an easy save.
That's our. No, it wasn't. Even we don't know.
What could he do?
I know.
What could he do?
Wait, Dan, hold on.
Sorry.
No, hold on.
Sorry, Nick.
Let me just finish. Yeah, Stav, I think you're a bit over Kepa now. And not putting Mendy down. No, Mendy's been making millions of mistakes, but last night he didn't have to do much. He didn't. At least he got the ball and he threw it to our. He got it. He got rid of it quick. So he didn't dribble in the box or any stupid things like that, because he knows if he does that again, he'll be dropped. Could be out of the club. Yeah, but about that goal, their goal was meant to be. It just made us get better. Yeah. Let me read another comment here. What's he saying? Yeah. Kepa is up for the league player of the month. Yes, I know. And believe he was back in training today. Good. I'm glad he's back in training. I actually voted for him to be the player of the month. Premier League player of the month, not just Chelsea. I voted for that stuff.
Do you think Kepa will be back from Sunday? Do you think Kepa will be back from Sunday?
No.
He's training.
I heard he's not.
According to
I heard he's not.
He's training. I'm not sure.
No.
I'm not sure myself.
But Nick, could I just say something to Staff quickly? I love this old fella. I want him to come on my show on Sunday, with Deji Spurs. All right, Staff. I love you to bits, I know you're old, just like Nick, and you got your opinions, and we all have our opinions. But come on, mate, Mendy could not save that shot, and I'm not going to watch it again because Kepa wouldn't even save that. That header, was a class finish. No one would not have stopped that. No one would not stop that.
It was hard. It was hard.
It was hard. You had two players, of their players, in that box next to Mendy. No matter what, what could he do? If he'd pushed it, the other guy would have tapped it in. There was no chance he was saving.
All right, we watched.
That was a good.
He's saying, watch it again.
I've watched it 3 times. I've watched it 3 times. I watched the game highlights 3 times.
Can I comment on that?
yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah, go
Go
Sam.
on, yeah,
Comment on
JK.
that. Yeah, it was actually
Sorry,
hard to save. I can't lie. It was hard to
it
save
was. We can't blame Mendy
because
for the goal.
considering if
But
you're in
yeah,
goal,
yeah,
let's just be in the goalkeeper's shoes for now. If you're in goal and you're having a header that's about so close to you and you don't have the reflexes, not many people have the reflexes to keep that out. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
yeah. I
if you
mean,
look at it from
yeah,
a
go on.
stand, if you look at it from a stand, that if you sit somewhere like in the West Lower or the East Lower and Stamford Bridge, you really see how hard that was.
You see, I
Do you get
couldn't
what I'm
see
saying?
him say anyone saving that goal.
That's
First
the
of all, it
thing.
wasn't Mendy's fault. It was Chilwell and Aspie's poor header, back header. So you can't blame Mendy for that. I'm a Kepa, I'm in all for Kepa. For me, Kepa is a number one, and I want him to stay there, number one. Mendy is number two at the moment for me, unless
Oh
something
no,
drastically
no,
happens.
no, Nick,
Yes, yes,
please
yes.
don't,
No,
no, no,
what
no,
you think?
no.
You say Kepa's not number one? Well, you want
Look,
Mendy as number
right?
one?
Can I say that? Can I say
Go on.
one thing about Brighton's game, Nick? The Brighton game, yeah,
Yeah,
right. We got battered because Potter's formation. He bring out not. It was a weak lineup, right? It was a proper weak lineup, right? But Kappa Kepa, right? He was poor that game, literally poor. Yeah, and I know the two own goals, yeah, but there was other shots he could have saved, yeah, right. The first one when Trossard, yeah, he could have grabbed that, but he bounced it back to Trossard. Then Trossard took the piss out of him and walked round him. If Kepa could easily just gone and dived in and got the ball for that, but he didn't. Who's that? Whoa, headset. Is that Staff? Oh, Staff needs to back out, back in again. Staff, back in, bro. Oh. It looks like it's been in the toilet. Robot.
Maybe that's what it is.
Staff, you need to back out, back in again, mate, because your headset, man.
Let's see that. Hold on, Dan. Staff, can you hear us?
That might.
What's that? Let me take you back.
It needs to back out and back in again.
Yeah.
It's karaoke night tonight.
No, that might, bro.
He's trying to stop back in, mate.
He's out there.
When he's talking, he's like a robot. Oh
my!
Stop shutting your mic out before I put you in.
Fam, you know the thing they have. You know that thing you have in your telly in the olden days when it goes like.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my!
Yeah. Anyway, chaps. Yeah.
No,
okay.
bro. I'm in tears,
anyway,
bro.
let's wait and see what he does. He'll be back. He gets that problem because don't forget he's very far away as well. So your mic out, Stubborn, come back. Yeah, all right. What we were saying now, Kepa, you were saying about Mendy, Dan.
Yeah, I was saying. I think Mendy's now back from injury. He'll be the main guy again because the games he's played, right? He hasn't been poor. He hasn't made mistakes, and especially the goal from yesterday. I'm not being funny. Dills and JK and everyone agreed to this. Yeah, that was a quality header from Zebgreb, and no one would have saved it. Allison wouldn't have saved it, or Edison wouldn't have saved it. Oh no, Staff, you need to pop it back out of the thing, yard and load up, man. Okay, that would be.
Leave some.
Yeah.
Got to sort it out.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, yeah, with Mendy,
God.
I can't hear myself
Sav,
think
you have
with
to
that, man.
come
That's out
out,
of my
man.
ear. That's out of my
Sav.
ear, Nix. That's out of my ear.
Yeah, he's gone out. You have to sort it out. Yeah. Yeah.
I have to sort it out.
Yeah. What you were
Well,
saying?
so basically, with Mendy, yeah, right. The goal from yesterday, yeah, because I've watched the highlights 3 times to see what happened to Mendy, if to see if he could have saved that. And Rio Ferdinand and Joe Cole after the game, they showed Mendy's the head of the goal, and even Rio Ferdinand and Glenn Hoddle and Joe Cole said that no one would not even save that. Like Alisson, Edison, or De Gea, or Kepa, no one would have not saved that. That was an incredible head. That was a good header, a good finish. So at the end of the day, Mendy's going to get back to his form, and he's going to prove that he's the #1 goalkeeper over Kepa. And I can see Mendy doing it. I can literally see Mendy doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends what he does against Arsenal, not just Arsenal. You know, if he when Kepa's not ready yet, so he's got a chance. Like Kepa had when he got injured, now he's got a chance. But Kepa didn't make all those mistakes like Mendy did, dribbling in the box like he did. So we're gonna see. We don't
I've
want
just
him
been on my Twitter. I've just been on.
Arsenal.
I've just been on my Twitter, Nick. Yeah, Kepa's not even back at training.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Stav said he's back at training. I've just looked on Twitter pages.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Jacob, it's out for the next game.
We're gonna all, and we'll find out tomorrow when we hear Graham Potter press conference. We will know more about Chilwell, Kepa, and everyone tomorrow. 1:30 probably. That's when he does his press conference. So we're not sure. But I hope he's not out for too long because he was on top form, very top form. Yeah. I don't know. I'll try and bring Stav again. Let's see if his mic. I don't know what's wrong with his mic or whatever, his connection. Stav, can you? We can't hear you at all. You're making funny noises. Go out, turn your go out completely and come back. You ain't gonna change it here. You have to go out and come back. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, so Solofa, you still there? Deals?
Yes, I'm still here, bro.
Oh yeah. So yeah, let's talk about anything else you want to say about the Zebgreb game, and then we go to Arsenal.
Not much, but I do want to point out, Aspilicueta, he's not that great, but that's who we have right now. Do you get what I'm saying? Until we get a new wing back.
Would you mind? Wouldn't you lot mind to put Trevor Chalobah there, right back on Sunday?
Right back as on Sunday?
Yeah.
No.
DM I can understand, but not right back.
No, he ain't the one.
You wouldn't?
No.
Nah.
That's what they were talking about.
I don't think he has that stamina. He doesn't have that stamina to be running up and down the pitch.
Well, you don't think he can do that?
Chalobah has to be where he is.
If it comes to it'd be Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, I reckon as well.
Probably be Loftus-Cheek on the right wing back again. There's no one else. That's the problem. Who do we have? You know, we don't have anyone.
I don't know if we should.
It's stupid.
Sorry?
It's stupid. Why can't we bring one of our youth?
But then we need to try and make sense here, because if we play anyone at wing back, we need to realize that left hand side of Arsenal is dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Do you know what I'm saying? And if we don't have anyone that's defensive minded there, we're going to be targeted, cooked on that right hand side. Martinelli, and then you've got Tierney. Sometimes Zinchenko is back from injury. I think Saka is also he recovered quite quickly. I can't lie, but still, we need to consider that we can't take Arsenal for fools. That's why I don't want to play any wing back Loftus Cheek or anything. I'll be so upset if that happens. Do you get what
Well,
I'm saying?
you want to see Aspie there get cooked on that right side, man? I don't know, man.
But on his day, he can defend. But I'm not saying he's a great player, though.
No, I hear you, bro. But it's like you said, it's what we have.
That's all we have. Defensively, that's all we have. You can't say Loftus Cheek can defend.
Trevor can do the job there, though. That's what I think. I think Trevor can do a job there. That's my based on how he's been performing recently.
So there's no point of doing a back four then for that game.
Sav, I'll put you back in, but your connection is not good. Sav, you hear us?
Maybe try and give it time. Try and give stuff time, and his voice will come back. Because I do remember it started off like that, and then he started talking.
Yeah. No, because he thinks I don't put him on. We can't, Stav, I'll tell you, go out completely. Your connection is now good stuff. Because we can't carry on like that. Hold on. Stav, after we removed you, go off and put them on again. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with his connections today. Usually he's all right,
But today's not his day. Oh, okay. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Defensively, I do think that's all we have. He can't defend.
Daddy told you to shut the fuck up.
What happened?
How's it my fucking fault? You said fuck all.
Yeah, let me try again. Anyway, Max is here now. All right, Dan, come on. Yeah, no, he's not saying that. He's saying his connection. Don't worry about that. It's nothing.
What happened?
Nothing's happened, Certified. It's just his connection's no good. I keep telling him to go out completely and come back. Anyway, leave Stav there. He's all right. He's sorted out. Welcome, Max. Can you hear us?
Hey, guys.
Yeah, hi.
Loud and clear.
We were discussing before
Stav
you
is not happy.
Yeah, it's all right, Certified. I'll get to stuff in a minute. We were talking about the Zebgreb game last night. We all said what we thought. If you want to talk about that first, then we carry on with the Arsenal game.
I thought we played well.
Yeah, go on.
I thought we played well yesterday. But the only problem again is just our finishing. We need to be more clinical in front of goal because we should have won that game 6-1. Their keeper played well, to be fair, but we had lots of opportunities. And for me, the formation was good. Okay, it's a Greb. A lot of people saying it's a Greb, and so, but you only beat what's in front of you. And for me, the big thing was having somebody who can play that defensive midfield role. Zakaria had a good game, and what he did, he allowed Jorginho to he was his bodyguard really. So Jorginho defensively, what Zakaria was doing, he was covering. As I said, he's covering the spaces. So like if Ben Chilwell went up, he'll fill in that area, and so he allowed them to attack with a bit more freedom. And hopefully he's fit for the Arsenal. I'm not sure whether he'll play for the Arsenal game because obviously he's thrown him at the deep end in the match of that intensity. May not be the right thing, but what I saw from him, he's a bit rusty, but the things I did see from him was good. I liked what I saw. Mason Mount I thought was really good. He was very intelligent in the way he occupied space. And our friend, what's his name? Who's the son? Where is he gone now?
Who's that?
What's his
Zakaria.
name? The one? No. The guy who just showed this picture in the. He just come off now. Who's he?
Picture.
I can't see any of your names here. No, on the panel. The one on the panel. Who's the one we having an argument with? No, not
Dan.
Dan.
Sorry, what?
Dan. Yeah, we remember we having an argument about Billy Gilmore the other day. You saw when he came on the other day. When he came on yesterday, he was class, and you can't. No one can doubt that. He was harrying from the front. He was he was starting attacks. He was shooting. You know, the only thing from him is he wasn't clinical enough, but he played pretty decent yesterday, Gallagher. So, but yeah, as I said, it's a good confidence booster. My only problem is the injuries. You know, in hindsight, could he have taken off a couple of them earlier? You know, because we'd already won the group. You know, it was a needless injury for Ben Chilwell, 94th minute. It's a curse of the. It's a curse of the Champions League.
We can say that, but the other way, he wants Chilwell to get minutes to get him back.
Yeah, I know that. In hindsight's a wonderful thing. You don't know what's going to. You don't know.
Really.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Hindsight's a wonderful. In hindsight, you just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. But it's just a bit of a curse for us. But in all the Champions League matches we've picked up a big injury. Obviously, we had Fofana was the first one, picked up an injury against Milan. Then we had what's his name? Reece James picked up that injury against Milan, and then we've got this one. So I don't know what it is about Champions Leagues and injury. But the problem is, I think the reason why we're getting a lot of injuries is because we're playing matches thick and fast. We're playing 2 matches a week, and players can't rest properly. And I blame that stupid World Cup in Qatar and the greed of FIFA. I'll never forgive them for what they've done, interrupting the football. And it's robbing the fans of a proper, because this season I don't really call it a proper league thing, because the way that league's going to be messed up halfway through the season, the way that it's not only Chelsea players getting injured, there's other players from other teams getting injured as well, and so the World Cup's going to be missing some players because of this stupid the way that the games have been scheduled, and we're not seeing the best of players at the minute, because it's no coincidence that you've only got a couple of teams in good form. The only reason Arsenal are in good form at the minute is because they're playing in a Tin Pot Cup against average opponents, so they can rest 6 players a week. So they only, in effect, they're only playing 4 of their first teamers every week in this competition, whereas we've had to play pretty much a strong team week in, week out, and so. Manchester City, obviously, their squad's is good, whoever they pick, but everyone else is kind of struggling a bit with injuries, I think, as well. So, but as I said, top of the league. The only thing is, hope now we don't draw PSG, because I thought that all the teams would be relatively easy until Benfica came and did, not Benfica, Porto came and did a madness, and then so PSG is going to be the one everyone's looking to avoid. I'm done.
Yeah, Max. Yeah, great comments. Yeah, great performance. We all said it. Zakaria, very impressed for his first game. Really impressed me.
What was your thought about Sterling? Sterling
for me. I wouldn't give him a great rate. He obviously, some things he did well. Obviously that goal was a very good goal. But you see the frustration with him, because he had a couple of glorious chances to put the game to bed, and
that's what I was saying.
But but it's some of his running.
He missed an open goal. He missed a very easy goal. He should have had 2-3 goals really, but the goal he scored, that's going to see more. When he's turning and taking players on and scoring.
Sterling's not a creator. Listen,
he's still
if we ever bought him, we never bought him in to be a creator. We bought him in to be direct.
That's what I said.
A direct bringer.
That's what I said. Deals. I said, we bought him. We got him to get goals. That's what the main, that's what we got.
Yeah.
And he's not getting enough. Let's hope. Last night's the beginning of him starting again. Let's see. But,
you can see the relief on his face there when he scored. You could see the relief on his face. But what I
he was because he got a lot of stick, Max. He got a lot of stick for the bad form he was having. I was one of them giving him stick, but when he scores like that, then it's okay. But he has to do it more. Yeah,
exactly. But the system I thought was good as well in that if Havertz now is playing as a proper false nine. They gave him the role as a false nine, but he wasn't really playing as a false nine. But now because he was dropping deep, and if you look, we had Aubameyang and Sterling who were playing a bit wider, and he was dropping in the pockets and things. So I thought that suits Havertz looked more at home than he has done in previous games because of the two runners that he had just in front of him. So I think that's probably something that we can work on going forward.
Yeah, for sure. Any more comments on the Zebgreb game before we start talking about Arsenal?
I want to say something.
Yeah. Go ahead, Deals.
With Aubameyang and Broja being in the winger position yesterday, I didn't really like that. I wanted them to be more central.
Yeah, I get your point. Yeah, I wanted Aubameyang, where he belongs in the middle. Centre forward.
I thought it worked. I thought it worked for me. It made us a bit.
It worked in a way, but it's still.
Yeah, but if you remember, this side, they scored the early goal. That's what they did when we played the playground, and they're very organised defensively. And I think with what we did, we disrupted their back line a bit more. With the movement from out wide, I think disrupted them a bit more, and it allowed us to get into the pockets a bit more.
Burton Ballers, what's your thoughts on Kai Havertz?
No, that's what I said yesterday. I thought he played quite well in that role. He played more of a false nine than he has done normally. I thought he was quite influential in there's still a couple of things that I think he can improve upon, but I did think he looked a lot more comfortable yesterday than he has done in other games.
Nick, what's your thoughts on Kai Havertz?
Yesterday he done all right for me. He looked like he was running more. For some reason he looks a little bit stronger than usual. If you remember, before the last few games he was playing, he was knocked off the ball so easy.
Yep.
But now I think he's got some time in training, like Mason Mount did. You can see they are more strong. Mason Mount and Kai Havertz as well. I think they've been training really hard because he's not knocked off so easy. Last night he was good. I mean, every single player was good. Really, we can't complain. I'm so glad, like I said, for Chilwell because he had a great second half. First half, not so good, but second half, he could have scored. He was making chances. He was great. I'm really, really upset. Like Max said, we got a curse. We got the injury curse. I can't believe. No other club has injuries like us. Our best players, God. It's really bad, especially now we've got Arsenal, Man City in the League Cup away, then Newcastle. So it's going to be really tough 3 games. If we manage not to lose any of them, I'll be over the moon, like all of you will as well, I think. That's how Havertz was good. The whole lot were good, especially Zakaria for me and Jorginho. Jorginho, man of the match for me last night. Staff, can Staff, can try talking now? See if you can hear. Still problems, Staff. I don't know what's wrong with his connection. That's still the same problem. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the Arsenal game. Who wants to start with that? Certify, you can start. Then we go to Dan and Deals and Max.
All right, cool. We'll start from. We'll start.
Let's start with the Arsenal game. I want to hear your thoughts first.
Okay.
Your predicted lineup. We can discuss the lineups after. What's your thoughts about the game? What we should do? What tactics? What do you think we should?
Yeah. So coming towards the game, this Arsenal game, I've been watching Arsenal a lot, and these men have players that are very techy. They've got players that can work as a team. They start the game on the front foot well, and they know where to pick their runners. Do you get what I'm saying? And with the way they play their football, they're more stable than us. And the football is more quick. Their pressing is great. They play a high line. And sometimes I do watch Chelsea and I feel, how are we going to stop this team? Do you know what I'm saying? I think Chelsea are getting into the pattern in our tactics, in the way we're attacking, and becoming more entertaining than we did under our last manager. And I do think what we lack a lot is we are more free, but our players are not as techy. Our attackers are not as techy, which I mean skillful, which we do need to sort out, which we will, and I know. And I do think we missed so many chances in front of goal. Although we see that now we're starting to create more chances, not just relying on wing backs, but we're having chances created from different areas of the pitch. Do you get what I'm saying? The only problem. Okay.
Yeah, go on. Carry on.
Yeah, so as I was saying, we're starting to get creativity.
You're like, staff. Let's hold on, sir. Let's see if staff can hear, can talk now. Staff, can you say something so we see if you're coming through? It's not yet. All right, carry on, certify. Let staff sort himself out.
Okay,
I've sorted myself out how many times?
Oh, yeah, but you didn't stop. We couldn't hear you.
We couldn't hear you.
Hold on, sir.
Nick.
We hear you now. Yeah.
We hear you now.
We hear you. Before us, everyone here, we couldn't. You were making terrible noises.
My life, we actually couldn't hear you at all.
Nick, I went out 4 times. I shut down the device and rebooted it. Right, came back in. You said you still couldn't hear me. Right, if there's too many people talking at the same time, you're asking me to talk. Right, you're not going to hear
making noises. No, it's not
the noises. The mic was making
anyway, let's get on with it. You're here now. So if I carry on what you were saying, then I'm going to go to Stav in a minute.
Stav, you don't want to talk first?
It's
before, about the Dinamo game, or? All right, cool.
Yeah, let's bring Stav to yeah. You're
that's what I'm saying. Let him talk about the Dinamo game, innit?
All right, okay. Yeah, Stav, we all discussed the Zebgreb game. I think you heard most of what we said. What's your take on last night?
My first take
Before
is...
we go to the Arsenal game.
Yeah, my first take is, Dan, I don't like being called old. Okay? So you can stop that one straight.
Oh, God, I was joking around, man.
So who's cracking now? Who's crackling now? That's not me. Who's crackling now?
No one's crackling now.
I'm picking up feedback. I'm picking up feedback from when Dan talked.
When you're not talking, put your mic on mute. Yeah, carry on, stuff.
What's the carry on about the performance? The performance.
Hold on a minute. Dan, when anyone, when you're not talking, just go on mute so we don't get feedback, please. It does happen when you talk, you unmute. It's easier that way for everyone. Yeah, carry on.
Right, good performance. Right, apart from the first 10 minutes. My comments, Esther Manis's comment, I saw that. And his point is that Zakaria, right, was released by Juventus because of his injury record. So he hasn't played before because they're obviously easing him in, right? Not at the training ground. So don't be making any assumptions as to why somebody doesn't play when you're not at the training ground. Right, he had a great performance. I'm pretty sure I heard Dan say he had 300 touches earlier on. Didn't you? How many touches did you have, Dan?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure how many it was.
I've got a stats up, yeah.
He had a lot. He had a lot.
He had a lot.
Which is?
About 300. About 300.
He had 49 touches, 39 successful passes, 10 went astray. Right? That's from the Chelsea website. That's from the Chelsea website. That's from Fifth Star.
Well, I've got the stats on Twitter, so you can't compare me.
On Twitter. Yeah, keep embellishing, Dan. Right? Yeah. Keep embellishing.
Anyway.
No, but that's like I said to you, I've got on Twitter, yeah.
That's about stuff. How with
Max, there, aren't you? Max, there, aren't you?
No, but he said 300 touches. So I'm going to listen.
Who said 300 touches?
Some guy called Jacob.
That one on Twitter, Max. It doesn't. People there on Twitter say anything they want.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Anyway, Dan, don't worry about that. Carry on, stuff, please, so we can go to the Arsenal game soon. Carry on.
Yeah.
The Zebgreb game.
My point regarding Mendy, right? The guy's 6'7". The ball was quite close to him. Hard-headed or not, I would expect him better than to just flap at it, right? You can keep shaking your head, Dan. You've had your say, so be quiet. You've had your say. You've had your say. You've had your say. You've had your say. I didn't say, right, that he could have saved it. He could have done better with it, right? When I look at that header, point-blank range, that Kepa pushed over the bar, right, and that triple save at Aston Villa, right, and none of the shots were easy. They were all virtually closed in on him, and he managed to push him to one side, right, twice. He pushed one on to the side after he made the first save, and then he pushed another one onto the bar, right. So don't be giving me this Mendy this, Mendy that. Deals, I'm going to answer you one of your points here, right. I said that Mendy's been poor since January, right. 3 goals he conceded against West Ham. First one was a penalty, right, which he gave away, albeit that Jorginho played a stupid pass to him. But because he hasn't got any feet, right, he gave it away. The second one was from Bowen, or whatever his name is, from outside the box. He got his hand on it and it still went in. Third one, the winner, he got 2 hands on it and pushed them into the net. Right? After that game.
Stop.
Who's talking? Who's talking? Who's talking? Who's talking?
You said West Ham.
Who's talking?
We beat West Ham 2-1 this season. You said
who's talking?
We had 3 goals by it was Leeds United, not West Ham.
All right, chaps, calm down.
Who's talking?
All right.
Who's talking?
West
Ham in January was 3-2 to West Ham. Right, when Ziyech played that crossfield pass to Mason Mount, right, who volleyed it in, right?
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
Twice.
I remember
we
that.
were in the league twice. I'm not talking about this season, Dan. Right? I'm talking about January.
Yeah,
so if you paid attention, if you paid attention,
I didn't know that. Okay, sorry.
If you paid attention, right?
I apologise. I thought you said this season.
Stop talking then and let people talk and listen, right? Right. So he went away in January, So he was missing January. He came back February, March, April, May, 4 months. Then he had, 6 weeks, 7 weeks at the beginning of the season, right? So you're talking about 5.5, 6 months, right? He conceded 36 goals in that time. And you're starting to, have a go at Kepa. People need to get over that Lampard season when Kepa let all those goals in, right? Because 22 of the goals he conceded were from zonal marking, right? And people like Max, right, and probably Nick know that zonal marking's garbage, right? Lampard didn't have a defensive bone in his body. He kept chopping and changing the defence, right? So
Yeah,
I
that's what
prefer,
I'm saying.
right?
Yes.
So can I finish? Right?
Yeah,
So
go
can
on.
I? Well, he must have said it when I dropped out. So, right? He kept chopping and changing the defenders. This is Lampard, right? I prefer to think back to the season before with Sarri, right? He got us to 2 cup finals, Kepa, right? By the penalty shootout in the semi-final, right? And in the one semi-final, he saved a penalty, right? And we missed 2 against Man City, right? So that's not Kepa's fault. And he conceded 30 goals, right? Apart from the Man City game when we conceded 6 and the whole team were totally garbage, right? That's over 9 months. So, Dan, you keep pulling faces in the background, right? I can still see it.
Yeah, but what about the rudeness from Sarri when he wanted him off that pitch and it wasn't Kepa's fault, no? Of course
What
it
was
Kepa's
what?
fault.
What about what? What about what?
What about the rudeness what he did to Sarri? Who was he the boss of the pitch?
What's that got to do with his goalkeeping?
Nah, mate.
Let's talk about.
What's that got to do with the goalkeeping?
Anyway, yeah.
What's it got to do with the goal, Nick?
Please.
No, hang on, Nick.
1 second.
I'm fed up with this palaver, right? I tell you, I'm off. I'll see you later. Can't be doing this.
You don't have to
I don't
argue.
care.
You man needs to calm down, bro.
Calm down, man. What's wrong with you?
Why do you not get
Let's talk about the game last night,
I don't
please.
care, right,
Forget
about the Sarri incident. What
Yeah,
I care
that's
about
gone.
is his goalkeeping. Is his goalkeeping.
Yeah, we care about
right?
what's happening
And
now.
he's up
About
for
Kepa's
the
form
players
now,
a
Mendy's
month.
form now. Yeah.
He's up for players
forget
a
about
month
what happened.
for a reason. Right, well, I'm sick of listening to people slagging Kepa off all the time, right? Right? What was he supposed to do with those 2 old goals?
I don't want to hear Kepa didn't play today. Why are we talking about Kepa? He didn't play. I thought we were talking about the.
No, because earlier on, before you
about
come on,
the
Matt.
Zebgreb game and the Arsenal game. So let's
No, Matt. Before you came on,
Yeah.
the conversation was about Mendy and Kepa, and Dan decided that Mendy is the number 1 and he deserves to go straight back in, right? And that's what the conversation is. But obviously, at that time, I couldn't get in, could I? So that's what the conversation is with Kepa. Right now, at this moment in time, Kepa is the better of the 2 keepers, right? Simple as that. And if you're going to play 3 at the back, and if you're going to play 3 at the back, if you're going to play 3 at the back.
Let me just add something, please. Hold on. Right, everyone hold on 1 second. We don't have to, argue with each other. Everyone's got their opinion. If Dan wants to think Mendy is better, let him think that. There's a lot of people out there who don't like Kepa. It's not, wait a minute. The fans, stuff as I do. There's a lot of hate for Kepa, even after his great performances. I don't understand it, but there is. And for me, I voted for him today for a player of the month in the Premiership, which he was. No one beats him. No one, not even Haaland. He was the best of the month for me. But it's always opinions. People think Mendy is better. But for me, Kepa is the number 1 and should stay number 1.
Yes. But, based on what?
If anyone, everyone has their opinion. You know that.
No, Nick. What? I'm not asking opinions. I'm not asking opinions. I'm asking based on what?
What do you mean based on what?
Based on what?
I'm sorry, Nick.
What, Kepa's better? Based on what you mean? I'm
right
saying
now,
Kepa is
Kepa is the better of the two keepers. If you're going to play
that's what I
three at the
said.
back, right, we
Yeah, what
need
did I
somebody who
say?
can play with his feet as well. Right, simple
Exactly.
as that.
Yes.
Right, instead of judging
Yes.
him on that one season, I tell you what, right, Nick, and Max can debate this with me if he disagrees. Right, ever since Kovacic, right, and Kante have been picking up their regular injuries, and they've been out, right, and the protection from midfield has gone, right, and the protection for the defence is gone, right. Mendy started conceding goals, and I'll tell you one other thing: if Mendy had to play in goal, watch him right now, this time now, right, watch him like that punch which he punched straight to Kane, and Kane headed it in the net, right. Just think what Mendy would be like if he was playing in a zonal marking system, right? Zonal marking kills the goalkeeper. Caballero conceded 10 goals, right, in 4 games under that zonal marking system. That's half the goals that Kepa conceded under zonal marking, right? So let's get that straight. There's a total different world. When Kepa was in goal that season, Kante was playing further forward. Right? You can all have a say about this further down when I finish, right? Yeah. Kante was playing up the field under Lampard. He wasn't a DM. We didn't play 2 DMs, right? And Cover was playing more attacking as well, right? So consequently, the zonal marking, right, was dumped on the advice of that Anthony Barlow, whatever it is, right, the defensive coach, after the West Brom game. Mendy came in, right, straight away after that game, and he never had to face zonal marking defence. Right, you watch other teams, forget just us, watch other teams when they use zonal marking and how many times they concede because the goalkeeper's left exposed, right? So judging Kepa on that one season, every time Kepa came in under Tuchel, right, he performed. Every time he performed, right? And I'll give Tuchel credit that he must have reinstilled the confidence in him. And I'll give Petr Cech credit as well because he worked with him, right? He told Chelsea to keep Kepa when Lampard wanted to sell him. And now we're seeing the fruits of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So instead of keep giving me this BS that somebody who's conceded 36 goals since January, right, is number one and should be in goal ahead of Kepa based on Kepa's performances in the 11 games. Even in Brighton, against Brighton, right, he still made a couple of saves, right? So if you want to insult him, feel free to insult him. But right now, on form in 2022, Kepa deserves to be number one, right?
Yes.
If he makes a load of screw-ups, then that's different, but he hasn't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
And the two goals
most of
he
us see
conceded.
that stuff.
Right?
Most of us
I'll leave
see
that
that.
one there.
Like I said, just
No,
let me
I'm
say
finished.
before I bring everyone else in. Yeah, I'll go to you in a minute, Max. I just want to say, at the moment, you can't drop Kepa, after what he's done this month. Play off the Premiership for me. I voted for him today. I'll keep saying that. For me, I always like Kepa. Yeah, anyway, stuff. Me, when he first come in, I like Kepa because, what Quarta did to this club. A snake. He was great goalkeeper, don't get me wrong, but he was a snake. We brought Kepa, young goalkeeper, paid a lot of money because there's some potential. He was an up-and-coming young goalkeeper. Everyone was saying, he's going to become a world beater.
Nick, just one thing, and I'll let you come. No, one thing.
No, don't cut
one
me
thing.
off.
No, because you're gonna say something right, and it's gonna be incorrect. The fee was a buyout clause.
When we previewed the
We
Arsenal
have to pay that fee
I know that.
because it was a buyout clause. And you're correct. It's all down to Courtois. Right? It's his fault.
I know what you're saying.
Right?
Yeah, we said that before. Anyway, Kepa came in. He had a bad time, lost confidence, lost his girlfriend, lost everything. He was mad in love with that girl, I remember. He lost his confidence. Yeah, Petr didn't want to sell him because he was training with him, making him better and better. But his mind was on that girl, I'm afraid. That's why we had to go and get a goalkeeper, bring Mendy in. He showed great class when he first came in. No one's saying he didn't. He was great in the beginning. But we did have a great defense at the back. We had Rudiger, don't forget. We had the best defense in the league. That's why we were top at one stage. But, Kepa now is, it's like, he's found a new love, Miss Universe, they call it, because he's made him perform. So at the moment, Kepa's the number one for me. I know now he's injured. Let's hope he comes back quick. Now he's injured. It's Mendy. Mendy will be playing on Sunday, and let's see what he does. If he does anything wrong, he has to come off for me, and you bring on the other goalkeeper, Bettinelli. I don't want to see dribbling in the box and all that again. But I'm going to let you lot talk about who wants to go next. Well, Staff
You
will
said
first say.
it was me talking. You said it was me talking about the Arsenal game.
Yeah, it was you, Certified, yeah.
Yeah, I'll start again now. Anyways.
Yeah, start again because, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's Arsenal game. It will be a hard, very, very hard game. I think our second test, probably our third test of the season. I think an even bigger one. Do you get what I'm saying? It's due to the fact Arsenal are full of are players that are just full of life and they just want to play. They work as a team. Just no one can break that bond. Not like we saw Liverpool play them, Tottenham play them. They got smashed. They have a good record at the Bridge. They're picking up some sort of record at Stamford Bridge, which is very, very weird. Because and back in the days when I was watching Chelsea young, I've never seen. It would be rare to see Arsenal beat us at the Bridge. Do you get what I'm saying? I know they did when they had Theo Walcott in his prime. Do you get what I'm saying? But in my opinion, this is a game where we need to match their mentality and energy. Do you get what I'm saying? Because their mentality every game is immense, and people don't realize that. That's why they're top of the league right now. Do you get what I'm saying? And goes to say, if they were to play Man City, they could beat them. Knowing City have a great, I'm not saying City, we play them soon, but knowing City have a great, we know City have a great record against them, but that's not the point right at the moment. But I do think Chelsea need to match their energy. I do think Chelsea in the past, I think I say 4 games, we haven't really started on the front foot because this Potter system is a system which is just so direct and people need to find their feet. Do you get what I'm saying? So hence why we don't dominate the first 10 minutes of the game. Do you get what I'm saying? If you look at that Dinamo Zagreb game, we kind of did get cooked in the first 15 minutes, but as soon as they got that goal, we changed the mentality, and from there we built in momentum going forward. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think Chelsea need to keep that momentum, but I want to see everyone's A game because Arsenal no team to play with, and people say that we shouldn't stress about Arsenal because we know we're gonna lose. We know our position now. Ever since Potter did said something about it's gonna take lots of time, and I keep saying I'm in for it, bro, because it's about time we really start with a foundation. You know what I'm saying? Chelsea, we've been bringing in players for instant success. The second season, we've been expected to win the league, yet we don't have players for the league. Do you get what I'm saying? I think it's time we build a Premier League team. Because let's be honest, this team, the teams we've been, Chelsea's teams have not been Premier League ever since Diego Costa left. We didn't have Premier League players. Let's be very honest. We did, but they want players that will challenge for the title. The thing is, Chelsea have players by name, which is why I talk to my I talk to my friends and they keep saying, with all these Havertz, Aubameyang, Sterling, how can you say Chelsea have downgraded? But bro, if you really understand football, you need to understand that and it took me time to learn this as well because I was young growing up. So I was saying I would think as well that with this team, if I used to put stupid claims. Imagine Ronaldo, Mbappe, and Neymar play together. This team will be the best front three in the world. But I'm like, no, it's not about that. It's about you have to look at factors such as can this player adapt to the league? Does he have the mentality for team playing? Do you get what I'm saying? Because football is a team sport, especially if you have a good connection with them. There's other factors other than just the name. Look what he's been doing at Dortmund, this and that. Do you get what I'm saying? People keep saying to me, Haaland, if he comes into this Chelsea team, he will bang just like he does at City. But yet again, I keep on saying, no, he will not, because we don't create that much chances for him. And looking at Haaland, looking at Haaland the way he is, he doesn't create chances for himself. Players around him create chances for him. Do you get what I'm saying? He's not like a Lautaro Martinez type of striker. All these South American strikers that create chances for themselves, which is why if Chelsea lack creativity and we want a striker, why should we buy a striker that feeds off creativity instead of him creating chances for himself? Do you get what I'm saying? Which is where Aubameyang comes in. Aubameyang is a great player, and I feel he will do great at Chelsea. But I do think not many chances have been given to him enough, in my opinion. Do you get what I'm saying?
For sure.
That's if you watch the games. Like, in my opinion, if we want to buy strikers in the future, I do say, I think we get strikers that can create chances for themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, have the ball and just drive himself forward and then score. Someone like Aguero, in his prime. Do you get what I'm saying? Someone like that.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm saying. But this Arsenal game, yeah, it depends. It depends on how we match their energy, really, because these lots can run and run. They have very fast players. That's why I was questioning people saying Loftus-Cheek on the wing back, because bro, that left hand side of Arsenal is dangerous, and we don't have if we don't have defensive minds at that left hand side, we're gonna get cooked. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's why I was saying I do think Aspie should play this game in a back four. Do you get what I'm saying? And I also think the midfield should also be on their A game. I mean, lots of areas of the pitch, lots of players in their position needs to be on their A game, because there's no room for average mediocrity in this game. If we really want to win, we need to be perfect. You feel me? Maybe Arsenal might drop exactly. Maybe Arsenal might like drop off or something, but Arsenal are a good team. People don't realize it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they play good now, certified. They are a good team. They're top of the league, aren't they? But we have to stop them running around. Like Brighton stopped us the other day. We have to be like Brighton, hunt them down. Don't let them breathe. Don't let them play with the ball. That's the only way we're going to win. And
that's what Chelsea need to do.
We've done it before.
I know we've done it. I know we've done it, but we don't.
Before to Tottenham. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we've done it before, but sometimes.
I'll finish off. I'll go to Hassan as well.
Yeah. Can I go after? Because I need to go and pick up my boy.
Yeah, Max. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna say this point, but Chelsea we do let sometimes we don't let teams breathe. But if you watch Chelsea games properly, and I really watch Chelsea games with my eyes, I do see that Chelsea, at some point in a minute, they stop doing that, and for some reason they become like more defensive. They go back and help. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, some of our players, we need to be honest, some of them don't have stamina like that. Do you get what I'm saying? To be running around to match Arsenal's pace. Because I do see players like Havertz. Havertz, he's a good player, but let's be honest. When he's pressing, you do realize he loses stamina quickly. Some players lose stamina quickly. Jorginho loses stamina at times. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, yeah, it's going to be a very difficult game, Arsenal. But anyways, I'm done for now.
Yeah, we come back to you, Certified. I just want to welcome Max. 1 second, sorry. Welcome Hassan. Hassan, can you hear us?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good.
Yeah.
I'll let you come in after Max because he's going soon. I'll let you in after Max.
I may still listen in, but I need to drive it.
No. If you want to finish your point, then you can finish your point. I'll go after you.
So, So for me, what you're seeing is we are Arsenal of a couple of seasons ago, and if we want to get to that point, obviously it's early days at the minute, but obviously Arsenal are looking strong at the minute. The reason why Arsenal are looking so strong is because they were patient with their manager. And a lot of us would have been, if Arteta was our manager and he was getting the performances for 2 seasons that he'd been having, we'd have been screaming for his head. And the management, I'm not sure what this management are going to be like with Potter, but the former management would have probably got rid of him, because we had a couple of project managers in Sarri and Lampard where the first sight of poor results, then the panic button went. The panic button could have easily gone at Arsenal, but when everyone was, the whole of the fan base were calling for Arteta to go, they stuck with him. They saw his vision, and now they seem to be reaping the benefits. So I hope that us Chelsea fans can be just as patient with Potter. Where Arsenal have got the advantage over Chelsea is that Arteta was able to implement his playing style because Arsenal weren't in Europe last season. So he worked on the training ground day in, day out without any interruptions. So what you had was somebody who can practice that repetition and everything else. So if you look at the Arsenal, most of the players, they know what their role is in on the pitch. Okay, they've bought into the way that Arteta wants them to play, and so you've seen a brand of football now. And Arteta he's learned under Pep Guardiola. He's a good teacher, because you've seen the way they press is similar to the way that Manchester City press as well. He even brought in a couple of Manchester City players to help him with that, and with Jesus and Shevchenko, and so and some of their buyers have been smart as well. And I hate to say it because I hate Arsenal, but if you're being sort of realistic, you've got to say that they are turning in once again into a decent outfit, and we can get there. We're not there yet, but we can get there. And it's going to, as I said, it will take a bit longer because we're playing a game every 2 or 3 days, so we're not able to implement the style that Potter wants us to play. Maybe with a pre-season next season, getting in a couple of players that he wants, then we will be up there again. And I think what Certified was saying, the reason why we're not getting the results anymore, because as Drogba once said, when the cat's away, the mice will play. And we haven't got Drogba to bully them anymore. I'm hoping Aubameyang can come in and do something. He's got a point to prove. So I'm hoping that he'll play like what we saw with Brighton players last week, with their point to prove because of Potter. They lost Potter, and their players, you can see that they said, you know what, we're going to prove that Potter, he was wrong to leave us, and we're going to show him what his mistake, and that they played with a purpose. And I'm hoping that Aubameyang on Sunday will do the same thing to say, look, you got rid of me prematurely. My worry is at the back, though. As a Certified quite rightly said, that left hand side is good and pacey. And Martinelli down there against a slowing Aspilicueta is going to give me nightmares. Even if Loftus-Cheek played it as well, I just can't see him coping because he's not a defender. I'm hoping we play 4 at the back. I think this is a game for Gallagher and Mason Mount. The reason I say it is because a London derby, Arsenal are an energetic team. What Gallagher and Mason Mount can give us is that energy and sort of match that sort of pressing. And I'd like to play Zakaria because I think Zakaria gave us a lot of balance. But as I said earlier, is this game going to, the intensity and pace of a London derby, going to be too much for him for his second game? because I just think that we need that presence in the midfield area, because we'll be overrun in that midfield. Because what they like to do, Arsenal as well, they if you look at Jesus, he drops deep as well, and they put a lot of bodies into that middle area of the park. So I hope we don't play three at the back, because every time we've played three at the back against Arsenal, they've had our number. We've been outnumbered in the midfield. That's why I'd go with three in the midfield rather than three at the back. And as I said, we've run out of defenders anyway, so so we probably have to play four at the back. The only issue with that is with Silva. We probably will have to play a mid block rather than higher block, because I think what you found with Silva against Brighton was when he was engaged further out the field, his lack of pace, obviously because of his age now, forced him into a couple of errors. So I wouldn't go, with the pace that Arsenal have got, I wouldn't be pushed up too high against them. I'll probably play more of a conservative counter-attacking style than a high pressing style, just because of obviously we haven't got the pace at the back, and Koulibaly is a bit rash sometimes in his tackling because he's still getting used to the Premier League, and I don't want to see him getting sent off. This is one of the games where you could get sent off when you've got the likes of Saka, who goes down really easily, so I'd just like us to play probably more sort of a lower block and then counter-attacking style of football, because Arsenal will come at us, and as I said, they are a very good pressing team, and they would like to hit you on the transition, and if we can stop them from getting us on the transition. But we just need to be clinical in front of goal as well when we've got our chances. Even if you notice against Brighton, we had a chance to go 2-1 and we didn't take that chance. Yesterday we missed a lot of chances. Arsenal's defence are a lot stronger this season than they have been in the past, because we always thought that they had that soft underbelly, but this season they are stronger. So, but especially if we get the first chance, we need to take it. But it's one of them good things. Like when everyone doesn't, you know what it's like, Nick. When everyone expects us to win a game, we always lose, or we don't turn up when we should be favourites. And then when people are writing us off and saying we got no chance, and that's when they see the best of Chelsea. So I'm hoping it's one of those games where everyone's expecting us to lose, but then we just
really think it could be
and show them.
The only thing I'm worried about is a 12 o'clock kickoff. We're not very good at that.
But having said that, though, in our favour, because we played yesterday, Arsenal, they're just 1-0 up against Zurich today. They've got a match that play now, and they have to win this game, I think, to top the group. So, and it's only 1-0 at the moment, so it's not as if they can relax with players. So obviously, if they were 2 or 3-0 up, they could have taken some players off. So that's the only thing on our side.
Yeah, you're right. Oh completely.
But we tend to not do well anymore. I get what your point. We don't tend to do well at
that early time. So I don't know why.
At 12 o'clock on BT Sport is never good for Chelsea.
No, God.
Yeah.
It can be good sometimes in the Champions League. It's been good in the Champions League, really. But,
no, I'm saying 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock on BT Sport. It's never a good for Chelsea. I've never seen us.
I don't know why they done that. Crazy, really.
Yeah, it's a weird one to be in a 12 o'clock match. Yeah.
12 o'clock.
Bearing in mind Arsenal are playing tonight as well. I'm not sure why they did it so early.
Yeah. Well, everything gets at that time, from BT. We have to get along with it. If like you said, on our day we can beat anyone in this world. We have to go out for it. I think we will this time, because we need to win badly. We need to win this game because we're already 6. We can't afford to go more down than 6. So I think the players, hopefully, they're going to be up for it. We can, on our day, we can destroy Arsenal. So we get revenge on them, and Aubameyang needs to get revenge on them as well. Like you said. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Max. Max, you still there? Max, you gone? Yeah, I think Max is gone. Hassan, let's come to you. We all talked about last night's performance, Hassan. Give us a quick take what you think you thought about last night, and then you can talk about the Arsenal game. What's your thoughts on that? Yeah, go on, Hassan. Oh, no one here. Hassan, can you hear me? Oh, no one can hear me. Certified, can you hear me?
Nick.
What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what's Hassan can't hear me or something. He's gone out. Something wrong with his connection. Yeah, yes, let's go to Max. I think Max is gone. Hassan's coming back in. Let me see. You carry on with the Arsenal chat. Hassan's back. Hassan, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hassan? Yeah, we hear you. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
We hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I was just traveling a bit, so there might be a small lag here and there. But
Okay.
yeah, about yesterday's game.
Yeah.
The UCL. The game itself, I don't really count that in terms of going to Premier League games, simply because it's a different ball game and it's a different kind of pitch. With the UCL games, like you can say, right, there's mistakes are costly compared to league games. League games, there's like you could go 1 or 2 games on a bad run. There's teams out there that have nothing to lose that will take the points away just to finish higher up in the table and stuff like that. And yesterday's game, we just had so much space and so much time, and they didn't really do all besides that one goal that they had, which was probably due to defensive mistakes and defensive positioning. And I've always said, never ever count with this team, especially. Don't count competition form to league form. They're two very, very separate things. Leeds, like look at the ones where we went and beat like Milan, we went and beat teams like Real Madrid, but we end up losing to Leeds, Southampton, and stuff like that. And yeah, I just don't trust these players in terms of long team form. It's unfortunate, really, that the fact that Pepe's got injured, Chilwell's got injured. We're missing a lot of. We've basically got no fullbacks now, proper fullbacks. We're forced to play with either Loftus-Cheek or Aspie, who is on his last legs. He's a legend of this club, but he's not the same anymore, and he can't really play back-to-back 90 minutes. But the problem is, though, like with the whole situation, I think Loftus-Cheek is going to start right wing.
Yeah.
I really don't think. I think Aspie will close off the game, but sorry. I was just going to finish off my point, and yeah, Arsenal is just one of them bogey teams that we have, man. I just absolutely hate them. They just bark for no reason whenever we play against them. And to finish it off, we should have beaten them the last 3 head-to-heads. It's just these stupid players that I can't be bothered trusting anymore. And I've just lost my patience with a lot of them. Potter's got a massive rebuild to do with the side, and yeah, it's just one of them bogey teams. We should have beaten them the last 3, let's be honest. And I'm just annoyed about this squad, and I wouldn't be surprised if we lose tomorrow or Saturday. Sorry.
Yeah. I think we lost you there for a while. Yeah. Deals. Let's come to you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'll hear you. Yeah, certified. Deals,
can you hear me now?
You there?
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I hear you. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
On the game, we have to be crucial against Arsenal. We can't let them attack us on the obviously defending wise. I'm a bit worried on that right side because Reece James being there normally, you know how Reece James dominates Arsenal at every game we play Arsenal, he dominates, right? Every game we come against the derbies, Reece James turns up. right? We're gonna miss him, crucial a part of this game.
Oh yeah.
Now, it just matters how can we create against Arsenal? How can we create against them? Where do you think we can create against them, Nick?
What's that against Arsenal?
Yes.
Like I said before, we win that midfield for start. Jorginho's going to have a game of his life.
That's why I would do.
I want to see Kovac and Jorginho. I think they'd be playing in the middle.
I want to see a three-man midfield. I want to see a three-man midfield of Kovac, Jorginho, Kovac, Jorginho, and Zakaria. That's the three-man midfield I want to see. I want to see that because it would be a smart idea to do that because I feel that Zakaria would help Jorginho and Kovac to push up more forward.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like I said, it depends how we come out.
Yes,
it doesn't matter.
Yes,
they've been brilliant. They've been
Aubameyang has to turn up as well because he knows that he has to turn up because of the situation he was in. Yeah.
Not only that, but Aubameyang, for me, he was good last night. A great goal he made for Sterling, that back heel. Great shot he had, but the goalkeeper done an unbelievable save. But Aubameyang, he's got that. You give him the chance. We have to feed him more. If we feed Aubameyang against Arsenal,
but Sterling's not that guy. Sterling's not that. My frustration is Sterling. He's not that guy to create. He's not that guy to
Sterling
create.
Hasn't been on form. He scored that goal yesterday, but still, I'd rather he doesn't start that game.
The last time Sterling created something in a derby was Tottenham. Now, if he can do that to Aubameyang, if he can create, remember he created for Reece James. I want to see him do that with Aubameyang at Arsenal. Come Arsenal Sunday.
Yeah. It's I have my doubts about Sterling. I had, even before we bought him, because like you see, like even last night, he missed an open goal. He should have had 3 goals last night.
Yeah,
and he got one. Great.
Havertz feeding in the ball. Havertz feeding in the ball about 5-6 times, and he missed it. So now, obviously, we can't be missing chances against Arsenal. This is a crucial game. This is a crucial game, and these players need to turn up and show the fans, look, we're here to turn up against Arsenal. Yeah, like we did against Tottenham. Against Tottenham,
we did that with Real Madrid.
But we are missing. We're missing.
We have the same sort of players. We're missing Reece James, Chilwell.
Yes, and we know that.
But we can't do nothing about that. So it's up to the players we have, and they're all, they're good players. They're top class players we have. They're all international players. It's up to them to be on that day. They come out and go for it. Don't let Arsenal play their little football.
Would you play a back 4 or back 3, Nick?
I think we will go with a back 3. I think back 3 is more solid. Thiago Silva is
back 3.
He prefers a back. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Better. I don't know about that still because if you look at our recent games of Arsenal, we played a back 3 and they've come at us. So I would rather go with a back 4.
I don't know. I think it'd be a back 3. Anyway, let's go. Yes, adios. Anything else you think we should do? I'll come back to you.
I want to see Mount and Gallagher. Either Mount or Gallagher starting because, like you said, the English connection. They will know what a rival derby is.
Yeah, but the problem is I didn't know the last one. Mason Mount was nowhere to see, when we lost 4-2 against Arsenal.
I don't know what it is with Mason Mount going missing. I don't know what it is.
He was missing.
He goes missing come derby days. Yeah, like even at Tottenham.
He has to show up. If we're going to have any chance, he has to be 100%. Him and Gallagher. for me, I like to see both of them start. They can be on the day. They can do something special.
Oh yeah, and Cucurella. I want to talk about Cucurella. As well. Cucurella. I hope he plays well as well, because on that left side, he's gonna be trying to create something for Sterling, and Sterling needs to be alert on the assists that Cucurella is gonna try and give to him on that left side.
Yeah, it's so important. He has a good game. He can have, again, like we said, I was there against Leicester. He was great, going forward, going back, quick passing. First touch, quick passing. That's what we want from him on Sunday. Yeah, let's welcome Bobby as well. Welcome, Bobby. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hi guys. Hello guys.
Yeah, hi.
Big up Bobby. Big up Bobby.
Yeah, big up.
We were talking about the Zebgreb game before. Then we moved to Arsenal. What's your quick thoughts about Zebgreb? Did you like the performance?
I have to say, it was good to see Zakaria, and that was basically about it. I wasn't convinced by that win. All very unconvincing, very disjointed, very miss, very lack of midfield as such. Nobody able to stamp their authority on the game. At least when Kante was there, you knew his presence. Zakaria had a good game, yes. However, he's not that outstanding sort of midfield general. He's a midfielder we need. He's a physical presence we need, but we're lacking. We're looking at defenders and relying on defenders to make the play for the attackers, because the midfielders don't do it. We don't use. I mean, I'm telling you, against Arsenal, I'm quite concerned, because Potter is not doing anything more than Tuchel did. We don't use enough midfielders. We play with two midfielders, and the opposition just pack it with 2, 4, sometimes midfielders. So we're always outnumbered. They get their wide players who are able to play from the center, in the center, and we're always outnumbered. And so we're toothless. We're toothless. And when the strikers have opportunities, they need about 10 chances to score 1 goal, like Sterling. I'm concerned at the moment. I really am. I'm thankful that we're win. Whenever we win so far since Potter came, it's never been convincing. It's never been, wow, we really held this performance and we are really going to the next level. Never. Even against Salzburg, it was a good win, but to me, it still remained a weak win.
What about AC Milan?
Well, I'm coming to that. Now, this brings me to our injury situation, which is almost beyond coincidence. This time, every season, we lose key players. This time, last season, we lose the same key players to long-term injuries. It's a little bit weird. Kante, Chilwell, and Reece James.
We like Max said before, we have the injury jinx on us, I'm afraid.
Well, I don't know what it is, but it's not normal. And you see, I don't see any other team having this.
Do you remember? I'm sorry, Bobby. Do you remember when Tuchel said that word? The same issues, same problems. It's like it's coming back to haunt us.
Well, I don't know if you can blame the players, to be honest. I think if you want to look outside the realms of superstition, then you look at how we manage our players, and overplaying players doesn't help. Now, did we overplay Chilwell? No. But Chilwell, did he have to start in that game? Probably not. I don't know. I'm completely bemused by this.
Even that's hard to say, Bobby, because I understand Potter playing Chilwell because he needs game time to try and get him back to his best. So I understand why he shouldn't play and why he should. It's crazy,
absolutely.
really. Yeah, it's crazy, really.
I think ultimately what it boils down to is squad depth. Now, we had that with Cucurella on the left side, although now he's going to be the main player because I don't see Chilwell coming back this season, not with that kind of suspect injury. And we have never solved that problem with the right side. Tuchel did the wrong thing by extending the contract of Aspi out of pride rather than anything else against Barcelona. And we should have had another right wing back there. Or we should have kept Dejan Sterling. So it's squad depth that's really punishing us. And we're going into a game against Arsenal that have all their players, they have all their first players fresh because they won't be playing, or they're not playing tonight against in the Europa Cup in a dead rubber game.
They are. They're playing tonight, Bobby.
Yeah, but who are they playing? Is Saka there?
Oh, they were winning 1-0. They have to win. They have to win to top the group. So
to top the group. Well, what does it matter in the Europa League, topping the group?
Yeah, I don't know who they put out really. I haven't seen it.
Exactly. They don't. You won't see people like Thomas Partey starting. You won't. These are all key players. I can assure you, against Chelsea, they'll start. I just think, look, we could be lucky again and beat them, but we need to be very, very careful. I want to see a convincing tactical performance from Potter, because at the moment I haven't seen anything to make me feel that he's tactically more astute than Tuchel. I think Tuchel was more tactically astute than him at the moment. That's what I'm seeing. I want to see a masterclass from him. Now, can he do it with the players he's got? That's going to be a struggle. That's going to be a big struggle because, we relied so much on the likes of Kante, on the likes of our wingbacks, certainly Reece James. Yet again, a defender making the play, pushing the attacks. It's I don't know. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. We are as far away from being a winning team as we are close to it. We could suddenly organize ourselves and become that team, or we could continue as we are and drift further back. I think we have to beat Arsenal this weekend because we can't afford to drop further back in the top four race. It's not that easy to get into that top four this season.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That's what I said before you came on. It's a must win. We're sixth at the moment. If we were to lose, because I don't know where that would take us. It's a massive game. Bobby, have you did you finish with that? Or Bobby?
I've said my piece about it.
Yeah, good input. All right, let's go to staff. Staff, go ahead up. What do you think we should do? What's our chances against Arsenal? What do you think?
Okay, I'll clarify one thing first with regards to what Bobby said. Yeah, according to Aspilicueta, in an interview, it was Paulie who offered him a new contract, an extension, not Tuchel. Tuchel wanted him out, right? I agree with Bobby regarding Dejan Sterling. Last season, it was like, oh, he's a star player. He's a great young player, a big talent, and he's going to be in the squad next season. This was last season, and he sent him out on loan, right? So, unfortunately, unless you're going to play Chalobah, right, you're going to have to use Aspi, which brings me to my next thing, right? I need a back four. I don't want a back three, right? It's like Max said earlier on, and I think Bobby just said it. Right, they flood the midfield. Right, the thing is, Arteta had Tuchel's number last year. Right, okay, at home, at Arsenal, right. Whether you liked him or not, right. Lukaku terrorised their defence, but they're more settled in defence now. And what they'll do is that they will play at least 3, depending on how many midfielders we play. They will flood that midfield, and their wide men, or runners, whatever you want to call them. Right, Jorginho, if he's playing, will be pressed, right, and he can't resist the press well enough. This is what happened last year, right? Last season, I should say. Can't resist the press, so basically they bypass the midfield. So then they find themselves with the additional midfield players plus the runners, whether it's from wide or midfielders. So sometimes they'll play 4 when they're in attacking right in the midfield, so that they can flood the box, right, and they'll exploit the spaces between a back 3. There's no guarantee Cucurella's not going to be up the pitch, right, or Sterling or whatever, right, whoever he plays there. I don't want to see wing backs against Arsenal, because wing backs, especially wingers converted, they'll just not track back, right, and that was a problem at Brighton. They'll get in there, they'll overload the box, right, or the last third of the pitch. They'll spray it around. They'll pull our 3 defenders away from each other, right? We know that Silva is reliant on his brain, and if he's going to be holding back, right, and the other 2 are going to be the ones running around. If we play a back 4, we have a chance. If we play a 3, forget it, right? They'll just absolutely obliterate us again, right? With regards to what Bobby said regarding Tuchel being tactically more aware, etc., etc., right? Let's not forget that when we played Arsenal and we lost to them, Tuchel had that team 14, 15 months, right? Potter's been there for 11 games. He's still experimenting. He's still trying to get his ideas over. Players haven't been performing, right? Not been clinical enough. So I'm not going to criticise Potter regarding being tactical, but I will criticise him if he risks it and goes with a back 3, right? And Jorginho, as well as he played last night, even if Zakaria is next to him, right, Jorginho is going to be targeted and Zakaria will be bypassed. And that's how they're going to get in behind us. And if you've got 3 at the back, like I said, far too many open spaces there. That's what happened last year, right? And the same thing happened in the second half in the US, right? We played a back 4 to start with. But the thing was, you played Jorginho, and I can't remember who it was. Was it Gallagher? Played defensive mids or whatever in the US, and they were losing the ball. And Silva lost the ball as well a couple of times. So if the pressure from them is too intense, even Thiago Silva is not going to be able to withstand it. So I want a 4, because you've got 4 people defending those spaces behind the midfield. I want a 3 in the midfield, an additional 1 to counter anything that Arsenal bring in, right? And then play 3 up top, whether that's a 2-1 or a 1-2 or whatever, right? Or whether you play 2 wingers and Aubameyang in the middle, right? With one of the midfielders when we've got possession, pushing in behind. I don't know what the situation with Kovacic is, right? I don't think it's long term in any case. You have to remember that Potter hasn't had Koulibaly the whole time. All right, he only missed 3 games, right? But he hasn't had Fofana for most of the time. So I think it'll be Silva and Koulibaly, right? If it's 3 with Chalobah. But if he goes 4 at the back, then he can play Cucurella on the left, as long as he's a bit more reserved, rather than just bombing forward all the time. And you can either play Aspie on the right hand side, same with him. He's got to be more reserved, or you can play Chalobah and right back. I don't want to say. I mean, listen, I really like Ruben, right? I like the fact that he's flexible. He'll accommodate the manager or coach, whatever you want to call him, and he'll play anywhere he's asked to play. But I don't want him playing at right back because he's too big, right? He's not mobile enough, right? So that's just my opinion, obviously. Up front, like I said, it's probably going to be Aubameyang, and you can have Sterling and Pulisic. And if Pulisic has got more room to run into instead of being a wing back, then he'll exploit it, like he did for the goal against Palace when he set up Gallagher, right? And when he's got more freedom, he tends to play better. But if he's restricted and he has this wing back, track back thing on him, he's a bit more. He's less lively, shall I say? Even though he doesn't go back, he won't track back. Right at Brighton, I've been on a lot of social media. A lot of people are going, "Oh, but he played too defensive for a team at Brighton." Just he said he's playing his wingers as wing backs. That's attacking. That's not defensive, because wingers are less likely to track back than a full back who's playing as a wing back. So I don't know how that was supposed to be defensive. We went gung-ho. He went all guns blazing. He took a gamble. Right, I'll give the guy credit. Held his hands up, accepted the blame, and now we move on. It's a difficult game. To be honest with you, with the injuries and that, right, I'd probably, stupid as it sounds, I'd probably settle for the draw. Yeah, right, because we can't afford to lose more ground with them. Nick,
yeah,
word
for
of
sure.
advice. Nick, word of advice. Don't flash Dan's messages up where I can see them.
No, I haven't.
Anyway,
I know you can see them. No, that was. I haven't flashed this mess. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, go on.
Right, come up now. Listen, I want to just one thing.
It came by accident.
Mentioned, yeah, but I probably mentioned, right, and well, everybody's mentioned it, right. But Max got it closer to the situation, right. That Champions League group stage is completed 5 weeks earlier than normal, right. So we've squeezed 6 games into 5 weeks less. Extra league games have been getting played midweek when there hasn't been Champions League games, right? To accommodate the fact that we're going to be losing nearly 4 weeks of league games while the World Cup is on, right? And on top of that, we had the situation with the Euro, the Nations League thing, the international games where players were playing. And the thing is, Silva was playing as well. Everybody played. Every confederation played. Why? Because FIFA decide when international weeks are, and they set the dates, right? And then the confederations decide when they're going to play on what days and things like that. So FIFA, right, are the ones who are responsible for injuries. If you look at Man United's injury list, they've got a long injury list as well, right? There's a lot of teams got 5, 6, 7 players out. Man United is even longer. Why? Because they're playing too much, too close, right? And there's no chance to recover, right, from the previous game, and they're overdoing it. So as far as I'm concerned, FIFA's to blame, right?
Yeah.
Can't blame UEFA because FIFA have basically forced them to squeeze that Champions League in, right? And I can't blame the FA, the Premier League, because it's the same situation. So as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, FIFA can go and screw themselves, and I would have said no. Right? All the confederations should have said no. We're not willing to go right there in November, December time, right? Because it's too many games. It should be in the summer after players have had a couple of weeks break, right? That's anyway.
For sure. I don't think anyone likes wants the World Cup to be in, in December.
I'm not even bothered. I'm not. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not even bothered. I'm not even bothered.
It's all right. With all our lives, we've been watching the World Cup in the summer.
Yeah. The thing is, Nick, they're supposed.
Why go there in the first place?
Yeah. The thing is, Nick. Nick. Yeah, that's right. I don't care about where it is. Right. It's when it is.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, and I was led to believe that the stadiums were supposed to be air conditioned. So why couldn't they play in the summer? Right, if the stadiums are in air conditioning. Right? Yeah, so this is FIFA. This is FIFA screwing every single confederation, right?
Yeah, and they let them do it. I don't understand why they let them do it. Why?
Because
why don't they all get together and say no? We're not doing.
I mean, have you seen what they want to do? Have you seen what they want to do next year? Right?
Yeah,
they want a 24-team. They want a 24-team Club World Cup, right?
Yeah.
And it was going to be, but it was going to be in China, and because China couldn't hold it, they've cancelled it, right, until next year. So you're going to play all these games. Then come the summer, right? They're going to want clubs or May time, whatever. They're going to want clubs to play that Club World Cup, right? And they've said, FIFA have too much say, right?
Yeah, that's a problem. But they have all the say, but they, why don't the FA, all the other FAs, all the countries, why they don't do something? They
Nick, it's not the FAs. Nick, it's not.
It's everything.
It's not the FAs. It's the confederations, UEFA,
whatever confederation, whoever. All the countries.
Whatever you call them. It's the confederations.
Yeah.
The FAs are governed by the confederations, so it's up to the confederations to fight the corner of the clubs.
No one's fighting them. No one's going to fight them. That's
because
did you hear what else? Did you hear what else they want to try and do next?
Go on.
You must have heard about this Super League, European Super League. They're thinking about again.
Yeah, they can.
They're thinking about it, but it won't work. No, I said it before. I was reading into it the other day, and no way, especially here in England, we don't want that. We're not having it. The people won't allow it. I hope all the other countries do the same. What's going to happen to the small clubs? What's going to, they tried to do it before and they didn't work. The people won't allow it. Even the government won't allow it as well.
Nick,
not here.
Nick, also when they were doing the Super League, it was actually American based. I think it was headquartered in the US, and I think they were planning.
Let me just finish what I was trying to say. So 1 second, I'll bring you in.
Yeah, I just wanted to add
something. The thing is, they've been talking to Todd Bowley because he's American. They've been talking to him, trying to wind him up to think about this. He hasn't said yes or no or anything, but they're going for people like Todd Bowley because they have American is different thing. It's not foot. What he has or that they don't see football like we do. We see football is our religion, is our passion. But some people, a lot of people like, I hope not Todd Bowley, but he probably sees it differently. He sees it for the big money side, and they see it different. To have a Super League is something they do in America. They have all that rubbish. I hope it's not going to happen in my lifetime. I don't want it to happen in anyone's lifetime, even you, Selfire, because you're still young. Yeah, go ahead, Selfire.
Yeah, I was just wanted to ask something, but I do remember they were planning it in an American headquarters, and I think the person who planned it, part of the plan was Florentino Perez, the Real Madrid president.
Oh yeah,
And
he would.
yeah, him. And then I think he was suggesting, I think the teams go to stadiums in America to play the games, leaving our home stadium. So I'm not even gonna lie to you. If that was gonna happen, I got very, very scared. Because does that mean they're gonna knock down Stamford Bridge, all the big 6 teams stadiums?
They can't do that.
That's what they could have done if it had gone through.
Boli can't do that. Yeah,
I know.
He can't.
But I'm not saying
Chelsea. Stamford Bridge doesn't belong to Boli. The good
I know
thing
that. I'm not
is
talking about. Yeah, I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about at the time when it looked like it was about to be a thing. They were about to move Chelsea away and name them different. I think name them a different team or something.
Yeah.
Like, and knock this. I think probably knock the stadium down. And basically, Chelsea would not exist in England anymore if we went if the Super League happened. If I don't know if that. I think that's Stav. Do you want to say something?
But,
yes, verified. He wanted to change the name to London Cowboys. That's the rumor, right? He hasn't got a leg. He hasn't got a leg to stand on, right? He's got no chance because the purchase of the club, right? The Chelsea do own the stadium, but it's been leased out to the Chelsea pitch owners. So they've got this 190 something years lease, whatever, right? And Ken Bates paid for the lease, right? They borrowed the money from Chelsea to buy the lease. So we pay Chelsea a ground rents, whatever lease, whatever you want to call it, and they pay us back, right? Something for the right to use the stadium and that. I can't remember what the word. It's minute compared to what the Chelsea pitch owners have to pay Chelsea, right? And it's going to be another 180 something years before the football club gets the stadium back. Right? They can do whatever they want. Look, they tried to have the EPL play one game a season, right, in the US, and the fans revolted against that. They wanted one game in the Far East. The fans revolted against that. It's our game. It's not Bowley's, right? It's not FSG, whatever they call them, in Liverpool. And you have to right? And you look at it, right? It was Liverpool, Arsenal, right, were the main movers in the English one, right? And as soon as Chelsea and Man City realised, and the Romans particularly, right, he must have got lied to by that so-called chairman, right? Book, right? And he pulled out. He pulled out straight away. We were the first ones to pull out, right? But Man City were the first one. Man City did it the same day, right? But they actually did the paperwork and everything to pull out before us.
Once we left, and I was there at that protest.
Yeah, in Arsenal and
once when Pinochet came out and told us the story, he came out. I was there. I was there talking to Pinochet. I was there, before he started, we were all going crazy. And when he came out, and told us, Roma didn't know a thing about this. I'm going back in the office and I'll be back in 5 minutes. And he went and came back in 5 minutes and told us that's it, we're out. Roma doesn't want the Super League. Never does, never will.
Yeah, it was booked, wasn't it? It was booked.
And we celebrated like we won the World
Cup.
I've seen
all the
World Cup. Silly, I know.
I've seen the footage, Nick.
And it was some experience.
Did you not see the interview that Tomboli done Tom Bowley done
yes
about how what his plans are for Chelsea and that and what he was saying about players and stuff and the data analysis and all that stuff. Now he's got to bring the proper peoples in for transfers. I don't want to be hearing my owner come out and say, "Oh look, we got to go snatch that player from Italian league, rare." He better find some better players that can come in. Yeah, I'm not talking the people that he's trying to accommodate to Chelsea. Bring in and bring in the right players. You need to look at the right data analysis, not the wrong data analysis. That's where we got to be careful here.
The people he's brought in. Yeah, the people who he brought in, right, as part of the consortium, right. There's a data analyst as part of the consortium, and he's English, right, and he worked for the Daily Telegraph or something like that, right. So he's brought someone in, right. He's brought in a guy from Southampton and Brighton, right, for the scouting, right, and he's bringing in, like, the transfers are going to be handled by 3 or 4 people, right, and he's dealt with the scouting as well, right, and one of the reasons that Tuchel had to go, right, was because he wasn't willing to work with Neil Bath and the academy. Tuchel wanted to turn up, do training on a Monday to Friday or whatever, and then do the match day. He didn't want any further involvement, and he didn't want to work together with Neil Bath, the academy coach, boss, who Bobby, I'm sure, knows, right? And Kassadai, Chukwuemeka, right, and this kid from Russia, right? They're none of them with Tuchel's, right? Chukwuemeka, Kassadai, I believe, played against us in the youth league and things like that. So these are players that Neil Bath's identified, right? And Bowley's shown, right, a trust in Neil Bath as well. So I'm hoping Neil Bath has a bigger job, right? But everything's going the right way, but it's not going to happen overnight, right? And the same thing with
I said it before. I said it before. This is not a team rebuild. It's a Chelsea Football Club rebuild. It's got to take time. That's what I keep saying. But as you know, a lot of our fan base don't have patience. We lose one game and they go crazy.
I'm not saying anything about that. I'm not saying anything about it. I mean, some people, right, on the social media that I saw were complaining and whinging, right? And I don't mean this in a bad way to these 3 guys on the panel, right? But a lot of the social media I go on to, right, on Facebook and stuff like that, the majority are Africans, right? And they're saying if Tuchel dares, not Tuchel, if Potter doesn't field the full strength team, right, right, then they'll be angry with him. They want to win this game. So others were saying we need to get back to winning ways. We need to set up an attitude for Arsenal and Man City next week and Newcastle and all this stuff, right? And the same people, right, I've been on today, the same people were slagging him off, right, for playing Chilwell. Right?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
You can't have it both ways, right? You can't have it both. A lot of the fan base, right?
Stop. My argument is Todd Bowley making the quick shots here, firing the quick shots quickly, what do you think of that? Because I feel that sacking Tuchel very early was very, very, very early of the season. I reckon it was too early to sack him.
Well, Dale's just addressed part of it, right?
Yeah.
He wanted him to work with Neil Bath, right?
Yeah.
He wanted every team from the academy upwards, right, to virtually have the same ethos, the same philosophy, the same style, right? But Tuchel didn't want to do it. Then you had reports about Tuchel not willing to phone transfer targets, and a lot of those targets were his players, right? If you go back to De Ligt, right, just as an example, right, he was all ready to come to us, yeah? He said he couldn't wait to work under Tuchel. He wanted to come to Chelsea. He wanted this, he wanted that. But Tuchel didn't actually contact him, right? But the Bayern Munich guy, that's Sally Hami, can't say his name, Ali Radovich, whatever his name is, he used to play for him, right? He flew to Italy for face-to-face talks, right? The Bayern manager called him, right, and talked to him on the phone and stuff like that, and they turned his head. Because ultimately, right, whether you want to go somewhere or to someone, right, you have to be made to feel that they actually want you, right? Now go back to Jose. He rang, and it was Cesc Fabregas, Costa and Felipe Luis in, because he saw them, didn't he? Because he was at Real Madrid the year before. He rang all three of them, right? And then he did the same thing with Pedro, and he brought Pedro in. He rang him, right? We all know the story behind Drogba, that he played against him, and he turned around and he said to him, one day I'll be at the club that can afford you, right? And I want you to come and play for me. And Drogba said to him, yeah, find that club and I'll come. Because he was made to feel wanted, wasn't he? And he left the club that he loved. He'd only been at Marseille for one season, but he loved the place, right? After, 6 weeks, he was homesick and he wanted to go back, but Mourinho talked him into staying. Because you have to make them feel wanted, right? So a man like Bobby knows, right? Nick Blue knows, right? Nick knows, right? Us lot and Max, if he was still here, right? When you go back to when we first started going, right, in the 70s and 80s and 90s, right? Managers ran everything, right? Like people like Brian Clough, right, and Arsene Wenger, Ferguson, they did all the negotiating as well. Yeah, they did the negotiating of contracts as well.
They were all real managers.
But they did the negotiating. But Nick, the negotiating.
No, they done everything, you said.
Yeah,
it was up
they
to
did
them,
everything, right?
not the owner.
Yeah.
It wasn't up to the chairman, it was up to them.
They spoke to the player. Yeah, they spoke to the player, right? And then he goes back to the chairman or the board or whatever, and they say, this player wants this much. This is how much the fee's going to be, right? I rate him, I want him, I need him. And he would explain why he needed that player and why he wanted him, right? And if you go back, Bobby, right, he's there again, still in he. Right, if you go back to the 80s, right, 70s and 80s, right, Liverpool used to go and buy players, the best players from every team. They were funded by the Morse family, who had the massive catalogue and ran the pools, right? They were funded by them when nobody else had money, right? And what they did is that Paisley, whether it was Paisley, Shankly, whoever, they would contact the player, they would make them wanted, they would sign for them because they felt wanted, and then they'd spend half their time at the club sitting on the bench or in the stand. And they did that because they wanted to weaken everybody else, right? And that's how they dominated football.
At the time,
that's how they
dominated.
Yes, and that's how they dominated football, right? But you needed the managers to do. You needed the managers to do the groundwork, right?
Yeah.
And if you're being paid 2, 3, 4 million a year, right? I don't know how much Tuchel was getting paid. If the bosses suddenly turn around and say, right, this is what I want you to do, that's what you do because you're being paid handsomely to do it, right? And if you turn around and say, no, I'm not interested, I don't want to do that, then the owner's within his rights to say, okay, let's part ways, right? But he also, right, lost the dressing room, right?
Yeah,
he
lost
a
lot of things.
Right? There was a lot of things, right? He lost the dressing room. the players stopped believing in his methods and things like that, right? He paid off the vast majority of the attacking players, if not all of them. Right? Even Mason Mount didn't look happy at the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah, they said the only Mason said we can't play for this manager anymore.
Right? I don't know. I've not seen that. I've not seen that, but I'm sorry. So I'm not gonna relate. Yeah.
And not just him, the whole, he lost the players. He lost the whole team. That's
Remember,
another reason. So many reasons. Anyway, let's go back to the Arsenal.
Nick. If we're gonna be against Arsenal again, I'm wondering now. Like Stav said earlier, I like what Stav said earlier. We need to see two wingers on the side for Arsenal. That's what we need to see. Direct wingers.
Sure.
Now.
I wanted to come to that now. Yeah, go on.
Now what Stav was saying. What Stav was basically trying to say, that Pulisic and Sterling are two natural wingers. Now we have a youth product, Amari Hutchison. He's a winger.
Yes.
Now I would have seen him on the bench. I would like to see him on the bench.
Yeah, so would I.
Listen,
I'd love to see him on the bench.
He knows about Arsenal. He knows about Arsenal as well. Yeah, because he come from Arsenal's youth academy. Yeah. So I would like to see him on the bench. I would like to see.
Yeah,
he's a good footballer.
The only thing stopping him because he's so young. But for me, I love to see young players like we did when Billy Gilmore made his debut. I love to see, and what a debut he made, Billy Gilmore. I want to see these youngsters come through, give them a chance. Especially we go down 1-0, and you have players on the bench who will fight for the club and everything. Yeah, you have to bring them on. Let's see. The only good thing about Potter, he does bring the subs on. He doesn't wait to the last minute like Tuchel did. Usually 60, 61 minute, he changes it. All right, forget Brighton was a one-off. It was just wasn't meant to be the crowd, and Brighton.
We need to move quick on the ball as well. We need to move more quick. We need to move more quick on the ball against Arsenal, because if we're not quick,
that's it. We have to
especially playing up in the back.
First, we have to win the first balls. We have to break them down. Don't let them play. Don't let Saka get the ball, Martinelli, and start dribbling. We have to have 2-3 players running at them all the time, like Brighton did to us.
Yes, but I can't lie. Mendy worries me a little bit. If he starts,
he does.
We have no choice. Certified. We kept us injured. Yeah, but we don't have any choice. He's playing.
Let me ask you a lot of question real quick. Yeah. Before I let Bobby speak, because I want to hear Bobby speak, Nick.
Bobby.
What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on Kepa and Mendy? Do you believe that they're the same level of goalkeepers, or they're not the same level? Who do you think is better?
For me, they're completely different. Kepa, he's good with his feet, as we all know. He can play. He can pass like a defender. Mendy can't do that. He done all right against Zebgreb because he didn't have nothing much. Yeah. Hold on, Certified. Yeah, I'll let you answer as well. Mendy, he's a good stop. He's a good saver because he has the advantage of his height. But lately, before last night's game, what we saw with Mendy, so tall as he was messing up corners, dropping the ball in the area, doing all sorts. The guy lost all confidence. Now, like Certified said, he's worried. You should be worried, because we have to keep that ball away from Mendy. We have to really keep it away, because for me, Kepa's right now. Yeah.
Kepa's a better puncher as well. Kepa's a better puncher as well.
Better puncher. I don't know. He jumped. He's like, it reminds me of Peter Benetti in a way. The cat. Remember, Peter Benetti wasn't tall, Wasn't massive, but he was unbelievable.
Can I just
this last month
Can
reminded me of Peter?
Can I just quantify something, Nick? Nick, can I just quantify something? Right.
Yeah.
I remember what was the guy who was our third choice keeper? Bobby used to play for QPR.
Bettinelli.
No. He left 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Blackman.
No, Blackman's academy player.
No, what years? What year are you talking about?
Rob Green. It's Rob Green.
Rob Green, yeah.
Right. He made an assessment after he left the club. Yeah. Right. He made an assessment of Kepa. And he said that Kepa is a far better keeper than people think, but his issue is his starting position. Yeah. And he started too much with his arms down his side, right, instead of having them slightly further back so that he could use his arms to push for the spring, right? Since Kepa's worked with Petr Cech, right, I'm not saying he's Petr Cech because nobody's ever going to be a Petr Cech, right? No. But he's moved closer to some of the attributes Petr Cech had, right? You mentioned about Mendy's punching and stuff like that, right? He's not only dropping corners, is he? He's punching them down to their players, like he did with Kane, straight to his head. He fumbled the punch.
Not only right? he can't pass. He can't
as well.
Get the ball to our players. All right, last night he didn't do. Last night he threw it out to our players. Thank God. And because there wasn't much to play for, he was, didn't have much on. He wasn't a.
Yeah, there's no pressure.
But Arsenal is a big, massive game. Let's see.
Yeah, Nick.
Yeah, go on.
Have you seen the report? Right? Yeah. There's a report, and I think that
sorry.
He was asked when they were in the US, right? Mendy was asked, right? Do you think you need? I don't know if it was Cech who asked him or what, right? Do you think you need to work on your distribution? And he said no. He couldn't even see that that's his fault, and he said no, right? But the other thing is, like I said earlier on, he was in goal during a phase where he had loads of protection. I've already explained that Kante and Kovacic were brought back to play further back, so he had more protection, right? But now if you watch him, he gets beat from distance, like he did with Richarlison's, right? He got a hand on that as well, but he was beaten from distance, right? His catching's gone, and because of it, teams are now starting to target him, on set pieces and stuff. They do it to Kepa as well. They always put somebody on him, right? But you look at Salzburg away, right? Kepa mispunched one, right? But he punched it far enough for the Salzburg player to have to adjust himself, and Silva was down his throat. So he basically, even though it was a bad punch, he still bought Silva time to get a challenge in, right? But all these other punching, when we were under the cosh, and Jorginho wasn't I'm not criticising Jorginho, but like I said, he's not good with the press. So when the ball was going in, right, from well outside the box and was going into the box, because they started overloading the box, right, in the second half, right? And his punching was spot on. He was punching it outside the box, right? Punching it to the sides and everything, right? So that's that as well. And Kepa has never had the chance to play with Kante, right? It took him a year before he played with Silva, and right, and he's never had Kante or Cover and Jorginho in front of him whilst they were all fit or on full form, etc., right? So now he's benefiting, right? And the reason I think he's better at this moment in time is because he isn't being beaten from distance, and now because of the injuries, he's not got the protection, right? So the last thing, and I'll stop. Right, if Dale's certified, Bobby, if you're still there, are you all on Facebook? Any of you
No,
No, I don't have
Twitter.
Right,
We're
well,
on Twitter.
I have Twitter and
anybody?
Instagram.
Yeah, anybody who's got Facebook, I tried to do a screenshot of it. Right, if you go onto Kepa's Facebook official Facebook page, right, Nick, if your son's on Facebook and he's there, get him to go on for you. Right, go to Kepa's official page, right, and there's a picture of him, right, and he's saying ready to go. He's got two fingers pointing down.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right, and he was at Cobham. No crutches. He was pulling his boots on and his training gear on. Right.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah.
So whether Potter decides to play him or not after the Brighton thing, it depends. If Potter's
he wants to play against Arsenal. He wants to play against Arsenal, 100%.
If we're having that much faith wanting to play for Arsenal, then that could be.
Depends how fit he is. You know, if he's 100%, no problems. I think
it was the base of his. It was the sole of his foot that he injured. He didn't even want to come off.
Yeah, I know that. Okay. He didn't. So but, let's see. It's up to Potter.
It's up to. I know it's up to Potter.
If he's fit, if he's like that, then he should play because he's
he's
been on form. And
but he clears up better as well.
I heard Cover's going to be back. I heard Cover's going to be back on Sunday as well.
Yeah, Cover will be back. He didn't play last night because he'd be ready for Sunday.
Let Bobby speak. Let Bobby speak.
He was sat next to Kepa.
We only got 15 minutes left. Let's go. Bobby, what do you think about the Arsenal game and Kepa, Mendy, and the Arsenal game? Are you there, Bobby? Bobby may be there, but maybe not. I think
maybe he's just listening.
I wasn't even finished.
Yeah, go ahead, Certify. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, about
go on, young man.
Yeah, bro. So basically, from the Kepa and Mendy situation, I do agree with Stav. And at this current moment of time, I do think Kepa's better. The thing is, if people, as you did say, Stav, people are living off that Lampard season. Do you get what I'm saying? But when we started to go and when we bought Mendy, let's be honest, that was almost the last time we've seen of Kepa starting every game. Do you get what I'm saying? Therefore, ever since when Mendy came in, we didn't really see a lot of Kepa. Let's be honest. So even in games where he was starting, you do see that he was showing some quality and improvement. Do you get what I'm saying? And in my opinion, as well, I do think this season he's actually becoming more of a complete goalkeeper. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know if we've realized, but I don't know if I'm the only one. But Kepa's becoming a complete goalkeeper.
No, you're not the only one. Most of us say the same. But there is some who never like
Kepa on the ball.
And they never will. That's a problem. There's a lot of fans, fan base.
Exactly.
They just don't want him. Even if he, carries on being so great. But I don't call them real fans. They're not.
Exactly. Wait. Let me just finish.
Kepa's a good goalkeeper still.
Let me finish, please. So basically,
I
don't know if you realize, but Kepa also has this great IQ on the ball. And I don't know if you realize this, but this season I've been watching Kepa and he's spun 2 players when getting pressed. He's so calm under pressure. I remember Anthony came running at him and he got spun. I don't know if you remember. But Kepa managed to do something techie. Do you know what I'm saying? And his saves as well.
Because he can play. He can play with his feet. That's why. He's he's really good. Yeah, go on.
For me, Kepa just had an unlucky season because we do need to know that when Kepa joined Chelsea in his first season under Sarri, he was class. We can't deny that. And he even took De Gea's spot for Spain in the national team. I don't know if you guys realize he did.
Yeah, that put him ahead of De Gea, and I think is it Navas?
Yep.
As well.
Yeah.
That made him. He was number 1. Right.
Yeah, De Gea was number 1. And yeah, Kepa, I think, is better than Mendy at this current time. But in my opinion, I think I used to argue a lot with people when it was Mendy. People say he's thriving off that great back line we had, and I used to argue with lots of even my friends in my school. They said, and I was like, bro, now I'm realizing now that he is kind of vulnerable with a defense that is not as defensive as you think. Do you get what I'm saying? And
yeah,
if you look at the game we play,
we saw it.
Exactly.
We saw
If you
so
look at the
many
game we
games.
play, exactly. Wait.
Yeah.
If you look at the game we played against Man City, yeah. But do you remember the game we played against Man City behind closed doors when they thrashed us 3-1? I think it was 3-0 in the first half. And if you look at that Gundogan goal,
you got both hands on it.
Yeah, exactly. It touched him and it went in. Do you get what I'm saying?
Got both hands on it.
Exactly. I remember when West Brom beat us 5-2. Remember Mateus Pereira? He scored a goal that Mendy should have saved as well. And that defense was vulnerable. So I did start to believe it from there on there. Do you get what I'm saying? And then it came to times when he was on the ball and he does stupid things. And let's be honest, during games, I don't know a time when Mendy actually kicked the ball out. All his passes from goalkeeping was driven and very slow. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, most of the time, he would just be standing there. He wouldn't even do a lob pass. Most of the time, he would just look for someone who's closer to him and just pass it. And that slows down our game. Do you get what I'm saying? Normally, you just have to punch it.
Yes.
Exactly. That's just my problem with Mendy, and he needs to sort that out. And that's why I think Kepa, at the moment, is more of a complete goalkeeper than him.
Did you notice that he kicked the ball?
Huh?
Did you notice that he kicked the ball right to the Leicester player, right?
Yeah.
Who played in?
How many times?
Played Barnes in.
Yeah.
He played Barnes in, didn't he? And he got beaten at his near post. He gets beaten at his near post a lot.
Yeah, like I said, it was 2-1. We were winning 2-1. In the last 2-3 minutes, it was unbelievable. We were going mad. I was there, and Mendy was getting the ball. He wouldn't get rid of it. All he had to do is kick it out for a throw on their side of the on their side of the pitch. But no, he was kicking the ball to them, and he kicked one ball to Vardy, which the old Vardy, like I said, how many times he would have scored if he was the old Vardy, but he's not. He's lost it a bit.
Yeah, I said that as well.
Yeah,
that game could have been totally different. That game could have been totally different. And he got lucky. Do you know that? Yeah. Do you know West Ham, Nick? Right?
Oh yeah, West Ham.
He fucked it up. Sorry, pardon my French. He played the ball out, right? Messed it up, right? And he ran out, right? And I mean, even the referee admitted on the Monday that he got the decision wrong. So that should have been 2-2, right? And that would have been down to his mistake again, right? 2-2 with Tottenham.
No. How many games? We saw it under Tuchel. How many games? He was giving.
Well, I said Nick, didn't I?
Drawing.
I said earlier on, Nick, didn't I? 36 goals.
And I always said, how many times I said, stuff. How many times I was saying last season, drop Mendy, and Tuchel wouldn't budge. That was another reason he got sacked. The guy wouldn't let someone who was completely out of form. It wasn't just Mendy at the time. He was Mason Mount
and who remembers? Going back to Stav's point about him not saving in his near post. Who remembers when West Ham Masuaku scored from across? He'd even score. He wasn't even intending to score. I was at that game. He was away. And he just crossed it in and bang. How did that go in? Bro,
the winner.
Too many games.
Yeah, the winner.
Too many games. Yeah.
Yeah, and he got two hands on it. Certified. He got two hands on it.
Let me tell you something. I was drinking Coke and I spat it out when that went in. I don't know how that happened. I'm like literally at that game.
Yeah. Were you at the game?
Yeah, I was at the game.
Is that
I watched it time and time again. Yeah, I watched it time and time again. Right? and he gets both fists on it and he punches it into the net.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Right.
But
A
how
lot of
many
people.
times? Yeah, go on.
A lot of people.
How many times?
Right. Go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of times.
I'm just saying how many times I went against Brentford. I went against the following Wednesday in the Champions League, Real Madrid. He cost us at the Champions League because we were 2-1 down and we should have stayed 2-1, but he goes and dribbles in the box.
At that game as well.
He thought he was Pelé. I keep saying it. He thinks he's Pelé sometimes. I was saying it today for a joke, but it's not a joke. He's us. I don't know what he was thinking, dribbling with the ball. And when he knows he can't kick a ball, properly.
Can I just
too
say
many
one
games
thing?
he lost us.
Nick, can I just say one thing? That thing that I said about the US, right, when he was asked, right, do you think you need to improve your distribution? Can you imagine if that was Petr Cech, right, or Bowley that asked him that and he said no, right? Can you imagine if it's that? So now there's reports in there that they're thinking about selling him, right, in January.
I heard that.
Yeah,
I heard
right.
that as well. Yeah.
So they're still considering selling him, right? I think he's a possible. I think Ziyech's going anyway.
Once the what's his name now, young American goalkeeper comes, Selena. I think Mendy's gone.
He's 18, isn't he?
He's only 19,
by
but
the time.
but
He's going to be nearly 19.
Yeah, so it'd be
good
to have be good to have him and Kepa
if Chelsea decide.
One shot.
Yeah, if Chelsea decide to let him come into the team proper, they might loan him out and sign another kid. Right?
Yeah, because he's young. Let's see what happens. But he's a prospect. We have at least we have someone good.
I would keep him. I'd integrate him into the first team, right? But the problem is that Chelsea are going to look at the Champions League, right, and start thinking, and has he got it in him? And also the issue that he's foreign, right? So they would have to release. But if they release him Mendy, then that's covered anyway, because we're only allowed 17. We're only allowed 17.
Yeah.
Certified that he's gone now. He mentioned Hutchinson.
No, yeah, certified is gone.
Yeah, he mentioned Hutchinson.
Who's the
young kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They considered having him on the bench yesterday, right? But they can't because he hasn't been with us for 2 years.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's too late. If you have to include him in the A list, not the B list. Yeah, you can't put him in the B list. It's the same thing with the 2 or 3 of the other young lads. Right, Castidi's the same, right? Because they're fun, we can't include them, right? So they'd have to go on the A list. But now they can include him for the knockout stages, right? Because you can relist the squad. So if Ziyech's going, we have a spare.
Ziyech, you can see where I think he is going because you can see it in his face. Every time I see him on the bench, you can see he doesn't want to be here anymore. I don't blame him at all. He hasn't been given the right chance, really. It's a shame. But I can't see.
Well, I've heard. Yeah, I've heard that they're thinking of using him in exchange for Alvarez from Ajax.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about him now.
Maybe.
I've watched him the last 2 or 3 games, Alvarez, and I'm not so sure about him now. But maybe his mind's on Chelsea.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure.
Right. Well, if Ziyech goes to Ajax, if Ziyech goes to Ajax, that means I can still watch him. So I'm okay with that.
Right. I know you watch
he needs to be released. They need to let him go because he's 30 and they're basically ruining his career. Right? I mean, the guy. Yeah. The guy was outstanding. Yeah, the guy was outstanding in January and February when we played the back, right, in cup games and against Tottenham. He was outstanding, right?
He wasn't played enough and stuff.
Yeah,
he
just
didn't get the game time. Yeah, I know. I remember.
He just dropped him, Nick.
For no reason. I remember. Anyway,
and then Bowley goes right.
We have to.
Are you limited?
Are you limited finish off. Time? Yeah. Well, we've been on here 3 hours. I know you came a bit later. No, it's not limited, but you know, we have to. It's 3 hours. I have to do something as well. Yeah. It was your. You know, the problem was your mic.
You can have your Stefania.
No. Huh? Sometimes I rarely drink. Sometimes I do, but very rarely. I don't drink. You know, I don't drink. Take a lot of tablets. Yeah, I can't drink too much because I take a lot of tablets as well.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know what's happened to Bobby. He's here, but I think he's falling asleep. So, Bobby, are you there?
Maybe he's lost contact.
He does that, I know. Yeah, I think he's fallen asleep because he does work late, I think. Anyway, we'll be back. We'll be back after the Arsenal game, probably. Yeah, most definitely. To your reaction. We do the post-match reaction.
On the Monday.
We're playing Sunday. Yeah, Monday for sure. Yeah,
because we've got Man City. Man City Wednesday as well.
Yeah, so we do that. Tuesday maybe we do 2 streams in a row.
Yeah, you gotta. You gotta.
Yeah, go on.
You can. Yeah. You're gonna have to start up in it a bit. Message everybody. Certified deals. Bobby. No. In advance.
Yeah, no, I do. Wait, I text everyone, and I tell them if you want to come on the panel, let me know. But even if they don't let me know, I'll still send them the link. Like I sent tonight, I sent 12 people the link, and Dex didn't come on. Most of them came on. Deals, Certify, Hassan come. Hasn't come. I don't know. He left early.
Super Dan.
Super Dan. He's all right. He's all right. Really, he doesn't mean any harm to stuff. That's how he is. It doesn't mean any harm.
2 minutes. Go backstage. Go backstage. Let's go backstage for 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let me end the channel. Okay. Anyway, folks. Thanks for whoever watched us. It's been an interesting talk tonight. We talked about nearly everything. We went back to even Roman. Even before that, Ken Bates. It's good to talk about the old days. One day we're going to do a special stream just for the old days. I'll try to arrange that with Max, Bobby, and stuff, and us old Chelsea guys.
I'll see thanks for watching. I'll see if I can get Pierre.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, I even text him a lot of times, but I'll give him up because he doesn't respond. Anyway, thanks, folks. Thanks for watching. We'll be back on Monday for, let's hope, a Chelsea win on Sunday. Very important we win that game. We have to win to stay in touch at the top. So thanks, and God bless you all, and thank you.